Out of anybody's name, the first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F or an M will appear. And then I say Bo at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fanner, and foe. And then I say the name again with an F, very plain. Then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. A frithial, a frithial, a frithial, a frithial, banana, fan, a fo, a frithial, fee, fi, mo, a frithial. A frithial. A frithial, do not think that you could escape the name game. Thank you so much for the resub, Iffy. It's been a whole year. That makes you very young. Thank you for all of your support. How are you doing? Hey, everybody. Hey, I'm Trooper SJP, and this is the Academic Foxhole. How is everyone doing? What is going on? How is your life? How are your lives? What is happening? What's going on? I see you lurking over there, Iffy. You know, I do very much love that emote. If people don't know, people who don't know, Iffy drew that emote because Iffy is a brilliant artist, and I appreciate it. Ooh, life is bad and we shouldn't talk about it. Oh, Krellin, I am sorry that you are not in a good space right now in your life. And I hope that maybe today's stream, which is a musical one, I mean, it's not a musical like Dominique Pamplemousse is a musical, but you know, it's still a musical. I hope it might help. Speaking of which, today's your watch streams day. Speaking of which, you know what? I have, I don't know if this is true, but I think there might be a sequel to Dominique Pamplemousse. I cannot confirm or deny. Like, I don't know how true that is. I'm going to look right now because maybe there's not. But there might be. And if there is, I mean, that is a thing that we should probably, you know, think about as a community. Maybe it's the problem is that I'm spelling everything really poorly right now. Dominique. There it is. So yeah, it looks like there is a sequel. There is a sequel to Dominique Pamplemousse called Combinatorial Explosion. I'm just saying that there is the possibility that we could play the sequel to Dominique Pamplemousse. Not today, because we haven't planned for it, but you know, in the future times is what I'm trying to say. I'm just saying that there's a sequel. We might be able to like do a little one shot of that. Today's so how am I doing? Hey, Baron Tor. Also, Krellin, how are you? So this is what I will tell you. How am I doing? Taught today, of course. Streamed my class. This is the 5th class that I've streamed, and it's, you know, it's week 4 of our quarantine lockdown situation things, right? Like it's week 4 of that. I have left my house a total of 2 times in the last 4 weeks. That's it. Only twice have I left my apartment to go to the physical therapist for my wrist, which I should probably do my physical therapy. And then also that was once. And then the second time was I went to the mailbox and I think I also went to the pharmacy. I think it was like I went to the pharmacy, I went to the mailbox. So like, yeah. Iffy says, I feel like we're all in spaceships. Yeah, I totally get that. And it's just really weird. And I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, I think I think the reason why I don't know how I feel about it is because I don't really think about it too much because there's nothing I can do about it. So I try not to think about things that I don't have any control over. Krellin says, I've left him a lot, basically the same amount as I ever did. But New Mexico's near the top of states in dealing with the crisis, and our case count is really low. Oh, well, but Krellin, how often do you normally go out? Is my question. Because if you never leave your home, then maybe it's not different. Levi says, yeah, you can waste a lot of time worrying about things you can't change. You know, and it's so funny. I was thinking about this. Once a day plus an extra once a week. Oh, that's a lot more than me. That's in my normal day, I'm going out. The reason why I brought this up, like, you might be wondering, why are you bringing this up? Because people were asking me about teaching, right? And how my teaching is going. And the thing is that normally when I teach, I leave my house. I get up and I shower and change and I walk across the campus and then I see people and we have a class together and then we talk after class and then I move again to another part and like maybe I check my mail. I don't know. But the point is, normally I leave my house to go and to teach. And right now I am not leaving my house to teach at all. I'm staying in my house to teach. And it is interesting. Also, it's different because I'm teaching 2 different classes, one of which is a seminar, which I do over Zoom because it only has 10 students. So it's just 10 students and me, and we're in a Zoom call. And that's a very different feeling than my lecture course, which is like 45 students probably. And that I do over Twitch. And those are both of those things are really, really different experiences. I mean, I have to set up the lights and the mic and all of that for both of them, but you know, Twitch is just different than a Zoom call is. They're just very different experiences. Zoom calls, yeah, they're very different experiences. But I would say on the plus side, I think I'm getting more people talking than I normally do in the Twitch chat because they can make messages. Do you know what I mean? So like people who can just sort of type messages during the Twitch chat. So I think we're getting a little bit more people. On the downside, it's harder for me. Like I can't call on people who are not talking because I'm not in the room with them. I can't just say, hey, so-and-so, you've not spoken in a while. What do you think? And I know that some people don't like to be called, but sometimes you want to, like, sometimes you can see that somebody, you know, hasn't spoken in a while and maybe they need to say something. And so like there's certain things, hey, Takerosh, there's certain things I can't do in person. And then of course also certain community things I can't do. But I feel like the Twitch thing is working out well. But I have a thought that I wanted to share with you all because we're here in this space that I was thinking about. And I want to tell you. But Barantor says, but Iffy and Barantor had something to say. I want to see what they said. Yeah, I don't go out on my 2 to 3 weekly errands, physical distancing. Yeah. And Barantor says, I've only gone to the store twice in the last 2 weeks. So twice in 14 days. Did go out and mow the yard, though, today. Yeah, although I think it's a little different, right? Is there a list of people in the room? There is a list of people in the room, but I feel like that's different. It feels different because when you're in person, I can just look you in the face, and that's right. Like that's a different thing than in a message board where you could be like, just because your name's in the message board doesn't mean that you're actively paying attention. Do you know what I mean? Like I can look. Theoretically, I could look to see who all is in chat right now. But what if you have the stream up, but you're not actively paying attention? And if I called on you, then you would not have heard it. Do you know what I mean? Like I just feel like it's a little rough. But did any students show up with wild usernames though? I asked them not to. I said, by the way, do not use your real name when you make your Twitch username because it is public. So don't. And yes, we got a few really interesting usernames that I really liked. One that I totally misread, and I love it. I thought it was great. It was like my reading of the username was super wrong because it was like a bunch of words but with no capital letters. So Yeah, and you know how it is when you just look at a name and then you look at it and you read it wrong, and it was epic, and I will tell you what it is in a second. So it's for my queer pop class, and one of the students, their username, I thought it was I um I am a gay pair is what I thought it was. I am a gay pair. Um but it wasn't. It was I took a gap year. But but there's a way in which or it I think it was it was a gay pair or something, but it was I took a gap year. Anyway, I mixed some letters around and it was hilarious because now I'm thinking what is a gay pair? What is that? How are pairs gay? But I thought that was funny. Uh, yeah, doing weird backgrounds on Zoom is a thing. Oh, I should get some weird backgrounds to do. That would be hilarious. More like waterfall chrome, but not at all. The name Takerosh, not Japanese. Oh, interesting. So yeah, well, they, iffy, they should be paying attention, but just because it's a class and they should be paying attention doesn't mean that they are. Nobody knows. I'm having fun as a traveling adventure in D&D as a roaming mortician, the kindest necromancer ever. Oh, Takerosh, that's very cool. I just took gap year and turned it into gay pair in my mind. That's just how it is. Taki is Japanese for octopus trooper, hence my question. So can I tell you a thing I was thinking about with regard to this class that I'm teaching? Okay, this is weird, right? Taco is an octopus. Huh, Taki is a waterfall. Huh. Interesting. Okay, look, so let me tell you. I was like, I don't know who I can tell. I was like, oh, I can tell you all. Taco is a delicious food item, and I love tacos. And I would eat tacos right now, except that I'm on stream. And also, I don't know if I can get tacos right now. Not this, I mean today. But anyway, okay, so look. Takerosh, he's just messing with you a little bit. That's all. Because the K, it's a joke. Well, you could throw out a thing like, I haven't heard from X, Y, and Z in a bit. Chime in with your thoughts on this. Yeah, I could do that. I'll think about it. So here's the thing that I want to tell you about. This is what I'm thinking. I am really enjoying. I'm taking the Mickey of him too. You two taking the Mickeys of each other. I see you all. So here's the thing. I actually, I'm enjoying how my class is going. My Twitch class, and I think it's going well, and I think it's doing good things, and I think it's doing something interesting that is not standard. And I somehow doubt that any of my other colleagues are streaming on Twitch because I find that unlikely. I think most of them are doing what everyone does, which is go through Zoom, do Zoom versions of the class, or they just record their lectures and then upload them to our course website so that students can watch them asynchronously. But there's no chat. Yeah, everybody seems to be using Zoom, right? So I think I'm probably doing something pretty innovative and interesting. Do you know what I mean? And part of me, so here's my yeah, so it's way more real time. I think it's really interesting. I think I'm doing something interesting and cool by having this class online. And here is, yeah, right? I'm thinking outside the box. I'm doing a cool thing. But I don't know if I want to tell anybody in my administration that this is what I'm doing. Part of me feels like maybe I should because it's innovative and cool, and maybe they would, I don't know, like to know that I'm doing a cool, innovative thing. Like that maybe could be good if I let somebody know that I was doing this, and maybe they would, I don't know. Maybe it would be a good thing to let people know that I'm doing it. But on the other hand, I don't know if I want them all up in my business. But of course, it's also their business. But I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, part of me feels like I don't know. I don't know if they would get it. So anyway, I'm just really torn about whether or not I let people know. I mean, because here's the thing. We had to fill out a form saying what we were going to do to bring our courses remote, like how we we're going to sort of deal with this. And I wrote on the form, oh, I'm going to be using Twitch for this course, but I don't think any of them knows what that means. So I told them that I was doing it, but I don't think they know what it means. And I don't know if I want to actually tell them more. You know, yeah. You got to start up with insider academic lingo. Oh yeah, they might tell you to do what everybody else is instead of asking for insights. Yeah, or maybe just, I don't know. Could it get you in trouble for having your class basically open to the public? I don't know. Like, these are questions that yeah, and Takadar says, the problem is the administration may not understand what and would want to spy on you, right? This is all true. I do have an alt account. They'd probably just steal the idea and take credit for it. I see you, Krellin. Hey, PH. So it's one of these things where I just don't actually know if, yeah, right? Because it's not, no, I did not set it up as a Patreon. I didn't. And there's no monetization coming out of that lecture at all. You could also work with Mixer. They might be more open with things. So the problem is I don't think it is Mixer versus Twitch. Although I hear that the trolls are pretty harsh on Mixer. I hear. So yeah, so for me it's not about, it's just whether or not my administration will understand what I do and how they would feel about me having a public class like this. Yeah, I just don't know how they would feel about it. I mean, please note, Skexy says, usually it's up to teachers how much class materials are available outside the class. Yeah, I feel like what I'm doing is totally copacetic, and I think it's working well, and I think it's cool, and I think it's innovative, and I think I'm like, whoosh, 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 whoosh. I'm so cool. You know what I mean? Like, I think I'm doing good stuff. But I just don't know if and even though I'm not hiding what I'm doing from the administration, I have not explained what I'm doing to them, and I don't think they're paying attention. And part of me likes that they're not paying attention. Part of me feels like they don't know what's going on really because they don't know what the cool hotness is, and I'm fine with that. But then part of me feels like maybe I should tell them. I don't know. Mixer has a lot of trolls that are against it becoming Twitch, a video game only mentality. Yeah. Oh, ooh, Barator. That's no fun. It's innovative for sure. I also don't know if they have much bandwidth to care right now. That is also true. Well, here's the thing, PH. I've already, like, they know that I'm doing it. I just don't think they know what it means. So I have never been dishonest with them. I have, because we had to, you mentioned when I said it, we had to fill out, we have to, they are a bit old-fashioned technological Luddites? Yeah, a little bit, yeah. Have you asked your students who are taking other online classes what they thought? The more about the school making tools available to use, yeah. Well, but see, here's the thing, because like but also, I also know that they have no idea what I'm doing because I know that they don't know what Twitch is. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's, like, I mean, so I can be like, yeah, I'm putting this on Twitch, and I know they don't know what that means. I don't think they have to know that you are familiar with Twitch because your owner PH interests. That's fair. PH, if only the world worked like that. And also the school being able to support you. Yeah, and the thing is, I actually don't need their support at all. Like, I am very self-sufficient. I am very self-sufficient. Do you know what I mean? Like, they have given us Zoom accounts, and I don't use the Zoom account they gave us. They gave us Zoom accounts because of the pandemic, and I just use my own because I have my own Zoom account. I've got my own subscription. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really need anything from them. And hey, Ice Bunny, we're prepared to support teachers through Zoom, using Zoom and other things through Blackboard. Skexy, that's exactly right, right? And you know, I'm just doing my thing on my own. I know how to do my stuff. It's fine. And I just don't, and I suppose the thing is, I think I'm doing good stuff. I just don't know if I should make it more clear to them what I'm doing so I can get credit for it, or if I should just let them continue to be sort of ignorant and not have to worry about them being in my business. Do you know what I mean? I just don't know the difference. You probably had this kind of available from the beginning of the school year or earlier. Yeah, I think so. On the other hand, they might want you to use what they're familiar with if you make it more clear. Credit being what? So PH, we have to document everything we do all the time and report. Oh, and I think my report's gonna be due pretty soon, actually. Yeah, if he's correct, credit for innovative use of Twitch. Yeah, because ain't no one need administration in their business. This is also a fair thing. But see, this is the thing. No, so we do, yeah, but if I put it in the report, I think they're still not gonna understand what it is. They may not understand it unless they actually see it. So we have to write down everything we do all the time, every year. We have to make a big report. We have to make a big report about all the things we do, all the classes we teach, all the service we do, all the research we've done, any kind of mentoring we've done, any advising we've done, anything we've done to help aid diversity and inclusion, anything we've like anything, any conferences we've been to. We have to sort of write at the end of right about now, actually, sort of like a really long report about all the things that we do. And this determines if we get a raise or not. So like whether or not we get a raise. And when I say a raise, I'm talking about like 1%. I'm not talking about a lot of money, but I'm just talking about like we get like maybe a 1 or 2% cost of living allowance adjustment every year. And this is like tied into our reports and what we do. And also the school likes to know, like if we do anything that the school can use to promote themselves, they appreciate that. Like, so for example, I sometimes am interviewed by newspapers. Like I just was interviewed not that long ago by Billboard, maybe. It might have been Billboard. I got interviewed, I think, by Billboard magazine. I can't remember. And like sometimes like Rolling Stone, sometimes just like, I get interviewed randomly because I do pop music. So sometimes they want to interview, not often, but sometimes they want to interview a scholar. And I did this one with Billboard, and I didn't tell the administration about it because I just never think about it. And the administration ended up contacting me. They're like, we saw that you were interviewed in Billboard magazine. That's really good. And we just like, they wanted to like, I think it was, I don't know who it was, somebody in the administration. And they wanted me to tell them what kinds of areas I specialize in. So if they get contacted by these outlets, they can sort of feed those things to me. And I never got back to them on that email because I've been swamped and I just haven't had time to think about it. But anyway, the school tends to like know these things so they can use it for recruitment purposes. Like they can recruit new students and good students if they can say, hey, our university has these cool, innovative things going on. So I know it's good for them to be able to recruit. And I'm sure in the middle of this pandemic, it would be good press for them if they could say, look at the cool, innovative things that people are doing. Like, I just think it would probably, like, I think if they liked it, it would probably be good for them. And this is, by the way, a lot of extra, like going on to Twitch is extra work. Luckily, it's a lot of work that I've had years now practicing it. So it's not like, it's all brand new, fresh. Like I didn't have to learn OBS fresh, but because I've been doing it for years. But I mean, like time has gone into developing the skills to stream through Twitch. And that is stuff that I have done. And like, I don't know, like maybe it's good for them to be able to be like, ooh, but then like, I don't know, what if they're like weird about it? I don't know. Anyway, so I'm just torn because it could help them on one hand, but it might be irritating on the other. So I just don't know. PH says, can you have some students write a thing about how good they thought Twitch was? That's a good point. Skexy says, really, there's very little difference from a stream on Twitch to leading a meeting on Zoom with all the attendees muted and not allowed to share screens. Yeah, that's true. Except I think that chatting's a little bit better in Twitch. And actually, to be fair, Twitch is way better with the audiovisual media. Like I'm able to sort of like play because there's a thing. I'm a music teacher, right? So I'm playing music videos. I'm playing music. I just have like I just feel like Twitch has just got a better infrastructure for playing media than Zoom does. You know what I mean? So I mean, I wonder maybe you might want to chat with a Twitch rep first. Why? Why would I chat with a Twitch rep? What do they have to do with this? Twitch as a teaching platform is nothing entirely new. That is true. In academia, maybe though, and you're likely not the first to have the idea. I'm sure that's also true, Takerosh. I'm sure I'm not the only one who is doing this, right? I cannot be the only one who's doing this. I just don't think I'm the. I think I might be the only person at my university doing it. Hey, Ace and Alexander, how are you doing? Aside from needing the credit and possible school press for us, this sounds like an easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. But well, the funny weird thing is, and this is where it's really tricky being a professor, is that I don't have to ask for permission for a lot of things. I can kind of do what I want to do for the most part, in the sense that, well, in the sense that they said we all had to take our classes remote. They said that was our, we had to, like you have to do this, and we're like, okay. But how we did it was all on us. Like, it's our choice how we choose to go online, in the sense that, some people are going asynchronous, some people are going synchronous, some people are doing Zoom, some people are not doing technology hardly at all, but they're just like emailing things to people and wanting things back. I mean, people are doing, especially super Luddites, but people are doing really different things, and we were not told what we had to do, how we had to do it. We were just told that we had to do it, right? So it seems. And also, we had to say what we were going to do because I think they wanted to ensure that we actually were going to do something. So I had to fill out a form saying what I was going to do. And I was like, okay, for this class, I'm going on Twitch. For this class, I'm doing Zoom. And so I told them that. But yeah, so I don't know. Do you want to help all your co-workers with Twitch? I don't know. To talk about with a Twitch rep about what you're doing, maybe they have an interest in developing tools for this kind of use. I just feel like they don't. I don't. The thing is, I just don't need anything from Twitch. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what I would want from them. I just want their platform to exist. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't know. I don't know what tools I would use. Let's see. Especially if you're a tenured professor. Well, it's a little, yeah, maybe. What's more remote than the far reaches of Twitch? E-professor lecture sports. Yeah. Some professors hate teaching and just want to do research anyway. That's true. And some professors hate doing research and only want to teach. And neither one of those two things is good, because we are supposed to be spending 40% of our time teaching, 40% of our time doing research, and 20% of our time doing service. Like that's like the general breakdown at a research institution. Generally speaking, they're like, if you go to if you teach at a community college, usually it's like 0 research and 80% teaching and 20% service, because I don't think that community college professors are expected to do research or keep particularly current in the field. Liberal arts colleges, that ratio might be a little bit different, generally speaking. Let's see. Apparently, with a little work, you can use OBS for Zoom. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I would become the Twitch expert. This is true. Password protection for the channel. Huh. Interesting. Iffy. That's interesting. This is interesting, Iffy. I wonder if it would be difficult for them, because they've got VIPs. Do you know what I mean? Like, okay, so here's the thing. You can make a stream right now on Twitch subscriber only. That is a thing that I think you can do if you're a partner. I think maybe affiliates can do it as well. I don't know. I don't know, but I know that at least partners can do subscriber only streams. So there may be some way to do that. That's interesting. I'm gonna write that down. Subscriber only Twitch streams. The thing is, I just worry though. I just worry that they wouldn't go for it, not because of education, but because of non-educational purposes. That is one of my concerns, that Twitch would be like, well, we don't want people, basically that we don't want people doing sex streams. Do you know what I mean? Like, I am not doing a sex stream. I'm doing an educational stream, but I worry that Twitch might not want. But then, but they also have a subscribers only thing. I don't know. And Sketch says, and really, it's OBS. You have the real work invested in. It's true. Ice Bunny says, I mean, if your boss knows you know how to do streaming here and your coworkers. Takadosh asks what services, and I will answer that in a moment once I get myself caught up on the chat. That's really where you get into the difference in the market Twitch is going for versus the market Zoom is going for. That's true. If he says, just like some kind of deal or license that an education institute can have with Twitch where they get certain tools, just saying this remote teaching is an opportunity for innovation. This is a good point, Iffy. This is a good point. YouTube has member-only streams. That's true. So yes, affiliates can turn on sub-only mode. I just checked on Dot's channel. Huh. I just have not, it's not even occurred to me to do an affiliates only stream. A sub-only stream, it has not even occurred to me. I don't know. Yeah, like some kind of education license partners. Hey, Kulon, how are you doing? Don't worry about being half asleep. So here's what I'm thinking. Maybe, I also don't see the, it's not, yeah, but also, no. Krellin, it's new. It's a new thing that they, and Krellin will not like this because I know Krellin. But no, they've actually created a way in which you can have sub-only streams. No. You can do sub-only streams now. I know because in the settings when you go live, there's an option where you can say, and actually no, that's true. Yeah. You can have sub-only streams. It's a relatively new thing that they brought out, and when you go live, you can, and you set your like, I'm not. If you look at stream, So for the stream info, I'm looking at my stream info for this stream that we're currently in. It says title, go live notification, category, audience, and the audience I have is for everyone. But you can change it to be for subs only. So yeah, you can create sub-only streams, not just sub-only chat, but sub-only streams. And I remember when they brought it out, there was some controversy about it, as I'm sure you could imagine, because a bunch of people were like, what is that? That's messed up. There shouldn't be sub-only streams. We don't like it. But it is a thing. It's not a thing that I'm using. That's part of why I was thinking Mixer would be a better place to pitch this too, since Microsoft might be interested in having these kinds of deals more than esports have a place like Twitch. I suppose, but I don't know. I think I'm colored a little bit. I have a sort of a negative feeling about Mixer because I'm colored a little bit by Geekspace TV's not great experience with it. Like Geekspace didn't have the best experience with Mixer, so I'm not particularly inclined toward it. Do you know what I mean? Because it just didn't. Yeah, that's all. Krellin says, well, that's useful. I can see why some streamers would want that. Yeah. And I think the idea is that a streamer wouldn't do all of their streams sub only, but like as a special treat or something, that it would be like something special. Would be like I think that's how they pitched it when they pitched it in their, like, because they have a blog, right? Like a development blog. And when it came out and they pitched it, they pitched it as like, no, this is not a way to like punish your non-subs or anything like that. It's just a way to be able to maybe do a special extra something for sub only. I was like, I don't plan on doing sub only streams, so I don't care. And then I just promptly forgot about it because I was like, this is not relevant to me in my life. I wonder if they might experiment with lessening the TOS on that, since they don't need to cater to advertisers for sub-only streams. I somehow can't imagine. If I remember correctly, like I don't think they lessened the TOS at all, and I think they were like really clear on that one. But it was a while since I paid attention to that. Yeah, but you're bringing your audience. You're not relying on trolls wandering in. Shows on several things where sub-only streams would have been useful. Oh, well, that's interesting. Huh. Interesting. All I know is that there was pushback because people were like, that's not fair. Basically, sub-only streams means special bonus time for your subs. Basically, Takarosh, yeah. But I know that when it came out, when it was advertised, a bunch of people were really mad. They're like, this is just classism because people who can't subscribe are going to be discriminated against, and that's not fair. And it's just a way to sort of separate those with money from those without. And it's separating the community, and it's really bad. And like there was like people were mad about it. There are people who were upset with the idea of sub-only streams, and you know, people were saying, well, this is it's an option. It's not mandatory. Carlin was like before she was working at the foundation and her career was doing talks, she would stream prep for subs. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah. And of course, with education stuff, they couldn't be for subs only because subs are paying, and this should not be paying, you know, because students should not be paying. That's all. Anyway, so I thought that was really, you know what I might do? Maybe I'll tell my department chair and my colleagues what I'm doing because they're my colleagues. So like if they could know about it, I think I could do that. That's what I'll do. I will tell my department chair and my departmental colleagues what I'm doing and leave it at that. Maybe. How is it different than the people who do streams for Patreon members only? Can you do that, Vulpez? Oh, right. There are people who do streams for Patreon members only. I don't know how they do it, to be honest. I know that people do. They'll do like they're Ask Me Anything only for their Patreons. I don't know how they do it. I have no idea how that works. Yeah, I don't know how that works. I have no idea logistically how that happens. But that's one where they'll do the Ask Me Anything. People will do Ask Me Anythings, but only with their Patreon subs. That seems to be like one way, like once a month. I see that happen a lot. Yeah, I think, yeah. Twitch gets a cut. Some channels have a one-time sub fee, then you're set as a sub. Huh. There's a stream thing. It's a feature within Patreon. Huh. Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Krellin says Patreon only streams aren't actually private. It's just they don't announce to everyone outside of Patreon that it's happening or use a channel that isn't publicly available. Oh, that's interesting. Hey, Toad. Just got my workstation set up in my new home office. Gotta break it in with some trooper. Yeah. Hey, welcome in. Yeah, we're just kind of talking about streaming. So I think because here's the thing. Part of me feels like not telling anybody, not really letting people understand what I do is not bad. Like it means I don't have any hassle. But not letting my colleagues know what I do probably isn't great for me. I don't know. Because Yeah. Anyway, Takesh asked about service, and so generally speaking, as a professor at a university, you have to spend 40%. Yeah, maybe they should. Yeah, so maybe I'll just like talk to my department chair about it. I can do that. Um, yeah, and we only have 2 weeks left of classes, by the way. Like we're almost done with classes. So I think, yeah, I think you're right. Hey, Cyclonus, you know you're getting old when your default state is pain. Sorry, Prof. I fell asleep during your lecture. No, it is fine. Um, would you mind them knowing that you DM RPGs? Yes, I would. I don't. I would mind them knowing that. I would mind them knowing that I. Oh, I could show them a clip. That's a good point. I could show them a clip. It's a good point, Iffy. That's a good point. I like that. PH says, oh, I forgot to mention, I'm playing in that Monster of the Week game you were in on Scratch Channel. Oh, I loved your character. Very good way of speaking. I'm thinking of playing a competitive eating person who overly cares about looking cool on social media. Should be fun. Oh, that's cool too. Neat. PH, maybe we'll meet each other in that universe one time because that was super fun. Huh? I'm surprised you don't change your back. Oh, because this isn't a backdrop. It's just my actual life, and I don't care. I don't care that much. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't care that much. I think because like so here's the thing about the reason why I don't want them to know that I DM RPGs or play video games or have any hobbies or have a life outside of work, because. I know, and I have a backdrop. You know, from my earlier streaming days, I have them right over there. It's just a big hassle to sort of pull it up and bring it down. And I was like, whatever, it's not worth it. It's not really all that acceptable in academia to have a life outside of work. And if people think that you, unless you're married and have kids, if you're married and have kids, then it's acceptable for you to spend time with your spouse and your children. But other than that, there is a sort of persistent distrust of people doing anything other than work. And yeah, academia doesn't really like the idea of you having any off time. It's not really it's not really acceptable. Whereas in other jobs, this was going back to you have to be really careful about advertising you're having hobbies. It's not looked great on to do things other than work. And this is one. Remember last week when I was talking about how I felt that being in the Army was not as hard of a job as being a professor? And this is one of the reasons why. Because when I was in the Army, when I was done with work, I was done with work. Like I would work, and then when I was not at work, I was not at work. I was not expected to do work outside of work. And also because I was in intelligence, I couldn't because my work was classified. But you know, you worked. And then when you were not at work, you were not at work. And sometimes you have to go to the field, and that kind of puts you sort of long term. But when you're not on shift, you're not on shift. And so I found being a soldier in the Army way easier because I actually could have a private life. I could actually have hobbies. I could go off and do things and not feel guilty about it. I had off time when I wasn't working. And as a professor, there's always the sense that you should always be working, because our job, my favorite professor was the person that introduced me to the travel bug. And also, especially depending on what your work is, anything you're doing off time should probably like people. I mean, there are some, I will forever picture you in intelligence work as you playing Baccarat in a white tux. It's mostly me behind stacks of papers, to be honest. I imagine the clarity of purpose is why people actually enjoy being in the military service. Oh, it's like, it's, you know, do your job and then you're done. Kalan says that's something I struggled with through my PhD. Yeah, and the thing is, Carlin says, teaching is in a weird space like that because for the longest time it was one of the few good jobs that women and POC could get. So of course the expectations of the job were bigger. Though college professor was often an exception to that eligibility wise, yeah. And not full circle, but at least a 180. Yeah, feeling guilty is part of the job. I have felt guilty since first semester. Yeah, not having left outside of academia sounds really unhealthy. I'm not saying it's healthy, Takarosh. I'm not saying it's healthy. And actually, I mean, there's a lot about academia that's really, really difficult. I mean, a lot of people who don't understand what it's like to be an academic think that, oh, your job is teaching and you're not good at like they sort of see teaching as the whole encompassing of what it is, but it's not. It's actually a whole lot of stuff, and there are a lot of expectations of what we need to do to be a good scholar and a good professor. And in order to do those things, and the standards are just getting higher and higher and higher, because the thing is, we are cutting down on like there are fewer jobs in academia. They're harder to get. We're not producing fewer PhDs. And we're producing fewer tenure track jobs, like because universities have realized that it's cheaper to just hire adjunct professors and pay them like $5,000 for a semester to teach a class than to hire a full-time person. So universities are cutting down on their full-time positions. They're just hiring part-time people. So you get a PhD and you earn maybe $20,000 a year without health insurance. And if you know, that's kind of where we're at right now in the professordom. And everyone knows scholars are all rich English nobles, and this is really their hobby, not their profession. Back in the day, that was the case. And aren't you expected to be able to move around a whole ton if you work in academia? Well, I mean, if you're in academia, you're expected that you should be able to take a job anywhere, right? And maybe you won't move around a lot, but you'll have no control over where you get that job. I mean, I got a job in New England, but I could have got a job at Middle Tennessee State or at NYU Abu Dhabi, or who knows where. I mean, or I would have gotten no job at all because, to be honest, the jobs they're not a lot of jobs. And because they're not a lot of jobs, you are competing with a lot of people. So in order to get the job, you have to do this insane amount of work just to get the job. And then when you get the job, in order to get tenure, which is 6 years, you have to get tenure. You have to work. The kind of work you have to do to get tenure is it's a lot. And it's more and more and more. Kalon's like, yeah, thanks for the motivation, Trooper. I'm just saying. So are there fewer people in the state of Schrodinger's postdoc? Yeah. And the thing is, it's just like, it's a lot. And because it's so much, the expectation is that we would always be doing work. And anything you're doing that's not work could somehow also be work, especially if you work in the humanities, right? So if I go see a movie, if I say, oh, I went to see a movie last night, people would say, oh, are you going to write about it? Can you write about it? And I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you, this is a thing that you should know. Yeah, I should get a backdrop canvas with stuffy looking library tomes. When people know that I play video games, like not everybody knows that I play video games, but there are colleagues of mine that know that I play video games, and their response to me playing video games is, this is generally how this conversation goes. Oh, you play video games? And then I say, I do. And they're like, oh, but I mean, that was probably in grad school. I'm like, you don't play anymore, right? I'm like, no, I still play video games. And then they stop and then they say, oh, are you going to write about that though? As if the only way that is acceptable for me to play video games is if I write about it. And yes, I actually have written about video games, which is one of the reasons why it's kind of okay that I play them, because I've written on video games. And so it might be okay because somehow it's still work. Right? So like there's a way in which people are very skeptical of people having any, unless you're married and have kids. If you're married and have kids, then people think it's okay for you to go and hang out with your kids. But other than that, there's a lot of skepticism about you doing things other than working. Yeah. Kulon says, I've got 3 papers in review, so my stuff is getting there. So that's good, right? Like because you gotta publish or perish. Ice Bunny says, the humanities always get kicked in the behind from people who don't know what the humanities are about. That's also true. There is so much to write about, but also always those loopholes. I detect a spelling error that night in that. Oh, Oh, there is. Yes, I've got to change Wandersong. Nightbot. Wandersong. Yeah, some academics have nothing but their research. And the thing is, that's not who I am, but I also know that you have to be careful because, I mean, I am currently streaming 4 days a week. I'm streaming 4 days a week, y'all. And I just don't think that they would appreciate that. I think they'd be asking, why are you, like, because here's the question. You're streaming for 4 days a week? Why aren't you writing? Why aren't you writing? Because and the thing is, academia is hardly the only job where I expect to only work. No, it's not the only job. There are a lot of jobs like that. But I find that that expectation of not being able to have any kind of time off is harder for me than a job where you walk in, do your labor, even though it's hard labor where people might shoot you and then you get to stop. For me, having a job, even though the army was hard, because let's be fair, people were trying to put me in prison when I was in the army. I always had to watch out for being put in prison. So it was a very stressful time. And also, people could have shot me. So that was also pretty stressful. And like, I was responsible for people's lives in pretty intense ways, which was also pretty stressful. So it's not like being a soldier was easy. I'm not saying it's easy. But I will say what? Lifting heavy stuff, or like doing all that stuff and then stopping and then taking off my uniform and being able to just not do any of that and turn my brain off of all of that and leave that away for a while, that separation between being at work and not being at work was something that made that job for me easier than being in a job where I'm expected to be all the time thinking about work. And if I'm not basically working in my free time, there's something wrong with me, right? And that is right. That's a thing. If Detroit Become Human worked on Mac, it could be something to write about. Oh, I can play it on the PS4. I mean, that's why I have both a Mac and a PS4. So a lot of things I can't play on a Mac, I can play that on the PS4. Why are you unavailable during that time? Yeah. I mean, and the thing is, Carl says, I'm not sure I've ever had a job where I wasn't expected to be able to drop everything to come into work, being the single man working there. Yeah, to those, to be fair, those were times those businesses were closed. I was allowed to be unavailable. Yeah, and for us, it's always, even if, I mean, so for example, in the summer, I should be working. In my time off, I should be working. I should always be working. I went on vacation and I brought work with me because I need to keep writing. I need to keep publishing all the time. And even when I'm not in the office, like they're not going to call me into the office necessarily, but at any moment they're going to say, how's your book coming along? How are your articles coming along? And anytime I'm not working on my book or working on my articles, or doing service is time that I should be, right? So there's a way in which that's really stressful, right? It's really stressful to know that you're always being expected to be working. If I'm not working on my research, which I should always be working on my research, I should at least be reading. I should be reading every single journal in my area, finding out what the current thing is. I should, like, I mean, not even just reading on my research, but I should be reading more widely. Like I should always be working. Anytime I'm not working, I should be working. And that is, I find that really hard. I find that to be a hard thing. Takerosh says, I'm not saying it's fun, but it could be something to write research on the matter of being human seen from an outside standpoint. Yeah. I've never played Detroit Become Human. Yeah, I imagine you are kept on your toes about, oh yeah, people always want to ask you about it. Listening to you, I'm happy that I want to start a business, then do a PhD. I do not know if I managed to make my MA. Do you still have time to stay up to date on those things? No, it's impossible. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's actually, I just don't think it's actually possible to do those things. And it's, I'll come back to that for a moment. Yeah, reading working to keep up eye skills was always a thing in IT2. Yeah. And you were never expected to do it on the clock. Yeah, right. When you have all of these off the clock expectations that you don't get to not do it because hello, Anino Gaming, welcome in. Yeah, it's just not possible to do everything that they expect. And the thing is, because the competition is so high right now, they just expect more. And I think there are little things, and these are things to think about, to sort of ponder some of these differences. I would imagine you found tricks to keep a finger on the pulse. I find tricks, and I mean, I suppose I have it better than some folks because I actually have a full-time job rather than being an adjunct, which would be miserable. But like, it is hard. Skexy says, some of it works the other way. As part of a liberal arts scholar, everything you're doing has a potential to be related to your academic pursuits. Yeah, Skexy, but that's not great. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's also not great because then you don't have time off. If everything you do is always work, then you're always working. And that is hard. That is a little rough. That's why we need UBI. Society is actually a place where we need less people working. Mm-hmm. I need to see that for an hour. I'm glad I'm outside the rat race. I mean, and all the stuff I've done that was not that way, I found just a little bit better. I will say, there was a thing that I was going to say about that. Story. I'm going to play. Story. There was, you might not be playing a game with the intent on writing about it, but it may inspire some idea along the way. Right. But the thing is, we know it all the time. Do you know what I mean? Like, no, I don't think it was about keeping up to date things. Oh, I know what it was about. It was about kids. Right. That was just like thinking about the ways in which, yeah, kids. And UBI is a better way to get less people working than forcing half the population to be house spouses. Right. So here's the thing about house spouses, right? How do you do all the kinds of things they expect you to do? If you have a spouse who takes care of all of the house things for you, so you don't have to deal with any of those house things, that makes it a little bit easier, especially if you are a neglectful parent, than if you are single, right? So I know people, especially this was like very much in the older model, where some dude professor would have a wife and she would do all the cooking, all the cleaning. Also, she would also edit his manuscripts for him. And he would have this person that was doing all this labor so that he didn't have to do any of those things, which gave him more time to do research and writing. And he also had like a free editor, because those professors back in that day would often date their grad students and then marry their grad students, and it was creepy. Anyway, so you'd have somebody doing all this work for you, and that guy can then go and be more productive because he's got all this free labor in his home that's taking care of that. And as a single person, I don't get to do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have to take care of my laundry and my cooking and my cleaning and also my editing. Like, I don't have this extra labor that allows me to be more efficient. So you just have to, like, it's just one of those things that you have to sort of, Carlin says, oh yeah, the expectations of the 50s were founded entirely on the basis of house spouses. Yeah. Kulan says, this is why I'm rightly screwed. But I'm telling you, Kulan, I'm still doing it. Like, I'm still doing it. Like, I sometimes I don't know how I do it all, but I'm still doing it. If you want to do it, you can do it. The 40K job that doesn't get paid. That is correct, Falcon of Venom. Although I think it should be more than 40K. I think all that work is more than 40K. That's all I'm saying. Ilvin the Brouhaha, quite the lifestyle. I also like saying house spouse. I like it too because it rhymes and I like it. Ah, the 50s. Ice Bunny says, my brother and I were parked at my grandparents because they worked in dad's business, and now they complain that my sister-in-law is taking care of her kid. We're getting close to them again, only 30 years away. I wonder what the 2050s will be like. Yeah, although it's weird, right, that we have a global pandemic just like they did at the end of the teens. Barentor says, yeah, my sister-in-law is one of those grad students, but now she's a statistician and not a homemaker. Good for her. Get her done, as they say where we lived. It's less easier to get a clean speed in the 50s too. Yeah. Sounded like what you said. There's a reason Chet has to remind Trooper to eat. Well, actually, that's, yeah. So the thing is, for me, and I'm going to just tell you how I feel about this. This is my feeling. I'm streaming a little bit heavy right now. Streaming 4 times a week. And this right now, it's a little bit weird because during the pandemic, everybody is sort of locked in. And so there's more streams going on. And so I've been doing a little bit more than I normally do. Where it's sort of become in the last couple months like a regular 4 for me, and now I'm sort of hitting 5 or 6 sometimes with like, you know, like classics on Twitch here or like a guest star there or something like that. Once the summer comes, it'll be super easy and I won't have to worry about it so much. But I will say that is still only like, still not like in the large scheme of things, that's like just free time. Do you know what I mean? Like it's really just free time. And I feel like I should be allowed to have free time where I hang out with you all and play some games and have a good time. Like I should be allowed to have free time, you know? And I shouldn't have to feel nervous that I have free time. And I don't think that's cool. As Takarosh says, that doesn't seem healthy. And no, I don't think it does. Get these some nutrients. I should get these some nutrients. Well, housework things, it wouldn't be as much of a problem if our social human value wasn't based on money. Well, that's true. And here's the thing. How selfish. Twitch is my free time now. I can't do much else with it. You honestly shouldn't even have to justify that you want free time. Yeah, right, Barentor? And here's the other thing I just want to say about house spouses. Being a house spouse is a lot of work, right? And I think that that should not be underestimated. How much work being a house spouse is, like, that's a lot of work. And it's always a little bit messed up when those house spouses are not recognized for the work they do. I think that's messed up, right? Because those, yeah, Barentor's a house spouse, like, and you also do teaching too, right? Like you just do a lot. And I think that not recognizing the amount of labor that house spouses do and how much that labor contributes to the non-house spouse's career is messed up. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's messed up. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, right? Like that's, and I think that we have to sort of recognize the ways in which some of that productivity that a person can do is linked to the fact that they have someone doing a lot of labor for them, you know, like just doing a lot of labor. So that's all I'm saying. Today in class, by the way, we listened to a song by this singer, Chavela Vargas, who was a lover of Frida Kahlo, and she came out at the age of 80. And she's like super, super cool. And she has this song, La Llorona, which is amazing. And she's like, we have this recording of her singing it when she's like 80 something. And I got to play that song and it made me really happy because it's such a good song. Yeah, Chavela Vargas is so cool. If he is correct, so cool. Yes. So awesome. Takiro says, academia is a mental virus and the treatment is having hobbies. Free time and being an actual human. And actually, I also think it'll make your scholarship better if you take time off. Like if you just take some time when you're not thinking and working all the time, you can make better thoughts. You'll have deeper thoughts. Like it's better for you to not be thinking about your work all the time, no matter what your job is. Like it's not good for you to only be thinking about your work. You won't work as well. PH says, I'm my own house spouse. I'm slacking on the job and my contract is up for review. She doesn't have the range. If he's like, yeah, Trooper, my wife is wondering why you stole a Pizza Hut cup. Oh, no, I didn't steal it. I bought these. And I went because I love these cups. I love them a lot. I don't know why I love them. I just love them. So I went and I ordered some and I have like 8 of these because I love them. I was like, and like, you know how some people are like, you know what I need? I need like a fancy cup that costs gazillions of dollars that shows you how fancy I am. I was like, I want this cup. This is the one that I want. It makes me happy in my life. That is it. Yes, Colin, we're going to play right now. See, we're talking about work now. So you're good. Right, there you go. Loopholes. I'm not a spouse, but I'm effectively a house spouse. Right, it's, you know, I'm a house brother. House brother's good. Gender bending, ranchero music her whole life. Yes, so amazing. Have I missed the start of a new game? Or we're starting the new game right about now, as a matter of fact. So you just came in just the right time, Rissa. Yeah, I love these cups. I love these cups. Crown brought that up many streams ago, and I was like, oh, yeah, Crown's right. It's, and it turns out my third job is Pizza Hut. Uh, yeah, plastic things don't break much, and I also just think they feel really good in your hand, and I don't worry about knocking them over. And I also like, sorry, cup details here. I don't know if you can see this. By the way, I'm drinking ginger ale. I don't think it's this, but like they've got this great texture. Like I like the texture of the cup. They feel good in my hand. I just love this cup. The cup is really good. Oh, Lauren loved it. Oh, cool. I'm very excited. So, we are going to play. Yeah, right. They have texture, so you don't drop them, but the texture feels good. Like ooh, Rissa, thank you for the bits. You know what this means. This means that I'm going to sing "We're in the Money" as sung by Ginger Rogers from the film Gold Diggers of 1933, which means I'm going to be singing it in Pig Latin. Thank you for the bits, and so here you go. This song is going to distract me. No, I will tune it out. I will do this. Wrong direction. Earway and hey, the anime. Earway and hey, the anime. Eva at gale at way at wakes to ute at gale young way. Earway and hey, the anime. Either ice skates or any say. Old man, the aviation pray, we are a who they must stay on way on rail. Ewa every eat red lands lay, air wet brands lay, today. Anyway, and we see the end, Lord will at the eye, get right in there, the eye. We're in the money, we're in the money. We've got a lot of what it takes to get along. Wee! Ooh, no, don't worry, Krellin. If there are brownies involved, bits need to happen because brownies are amazing and I love them. That's it. Like, I always support brownies. All the time. All the time. Trooper, says Barantor, my wife is a lover of ginger ale and approves your cup choice and review. Thank you. Thank you. Also, say hi to Mrs. Barantor. Hey, Mrs. Barantor. Wait, why are you sad? Why are you sad? Why? We need more ways to use our extra credit. Well, that's probably true. But right now we've got like fate point ways for the extra credit. I guess I won't do one more file. VPN went down for work. Oh. Also, hey, Falcon. Oh, Falcon. Falcon, I don't know if you know, but Ice Bunny posted a question in the Discord. We have a Discord, by the way. And the question was about I just pressed a button, sorry. About making feet for table legs, knitting. Thank you, PH. Knitting table leg socks. So Ice Bunny asked Falcon about knitting table leg socks because Falcon is a knitter. Oh, I love ginger ale, ginger beer. So good. Oh, yay to Mrs. Barantor. Also, here's my cursor. So there we go. Those cups were always the best part of going to sit down Pizza Huts. That's true. I do love, leg warmers for chairs. See, right? I don't know anything about this game. Like, oh, hey, we're two-dimensional. So this one is our movement. This one seems to be singing. Okay. What do the buttons do? Okay, Y, you dance. Y is dancing. B doesn't do anything. X doesn't do anything. A is jumping. Okay. Dancing is sadly pointless. Aw. Oh, yes, I can. I can turn the game volume up a little bit. You know, we gotta always, what's the word? We always have to adjust our game volume, I think, with every game. How do we feel about this? Oh, okay, Iffy. Lurk a little bit. Tell me how you do. Here we go. Let's try here. I was wondering if the bottom of the sock would make the table slippery. Maybe that's the point? I don't know. I am sad because I don't know. I'm cubed in for 5 weeks. So, yeah, so like clearly this is work related. I'm hearing some cool drums. Hey, we gotta... Oh. Oh, I can't really jump. I can't really jump when I have a... This sword is heavy, everyone. Oh! Hello, how are you? I think I'm scared. So if that's better for you. Heavy sword equals no jumping. That's bad for me. Let's see if that's good. Oh. Oh. Yeah. So now I put the belly back down. So we don't need swords. We need songs. Oh my gosh. You are so cute. Oh, thanks. Limited looting weighs me down. I don't like it. I'm sorry for scaring you. Yeah, you totally scared me. This was supposed to test if you were a hero. Which, you're not. Hey. I'm just a bard. Who are you? Messenger of the goddess Ea. Forever ago, her song of creation set your universe into motion. And she's gonna sing her song again pretty soon. Which, is gonna replace this universe with a new one. But don't freak out about it too much. Actually, that seems like a freak out. The universe is pretty old. She likes to start over with it fresh after a while, you know? Man, this sucks actually. I really like you. Sorry your planet is doomed. Well... Oh, red curtains. Oh, I will see you later. Go to sleep, Kalon. Go to sleep. The Act 1, The Haunting in Langtree. Y'all, The Witcher was very intense. Ooh. Getting dressed is fast. I should see if I could open that. A game with no looting sounds like it was designed especially for a trooper, but all the looting. Oh. Come on. Oh, PH, also go to sleep. PH, I will see you later. Hi. Hey now, Wanderer. How were your dreams last night? I don't remember. The real test is, does this game have cliffs? This is true. Does the game have cliffs to jump off of? Krellin says, Trooper, I know you like looting, but you are bad at it. Well, maybe I'm bad at looting, but I think I'm good at hoarding. They can be so easy to lose, can't they? Well, no worries. It's a beautiful morning. The birds are singing. What about you? Going to see the ghosts? Ghosts? A crowd of spirits took over town. Everyone's freaking out. It's pretty funny. Well, see you around. With all these ghosts around, I'm really feeling the spook vibes. Think I might go hang out in a graveyard. If you come find me there, then something special is sure to happen. Oh. Well, cool. Aw, the bird's happy with me. The real, Trooper needs to play Skyrim. That would cure him of looting. I don't know about that, Krellin, and I only say that because I've played Morrowind and I looted all over that game. Like, I looted all, and I started playing Oblivion, but I didn't finish it because I started getting frustrated with that game. I didn't feel frustrated because it was difficult. I felt frustrated because it was so grindy, and I wasn't excited about the plot. And I wasn't excited. There seems to be a lot of looting. Rissa, how are you enjoying it? Rissa started Pillars of Eternity. How's it going for you? Was I frustrated because you couldn't carry all the things? Crone, this may seem weird, but I like that I can't carry all the things, but I want to carry all the things. Like, I like when I'm like, oh, I've got all the things and I can't carry it. And then like, I would be weighed down because I like to do alchemy. So I'm always carrying all sorts of like carrots and potatoes or whatever. So I'm always carrying way too much stuff. And I'm like, oh no, what can I do? And it's like, oh, I know. If I make this potion, it'll weigh less than the sack of potatoes I have right now. So that'll save me some weight. And then like, I'll make a bunch of potions and then I'll like be able to move a little bit again. So I'll be running around. And then somebody will put like, I'll get more loot and I can't, I'm in the middle of a dungeon, and I was like, take a potion that allows me to like increase my strength so I can just run out of the potion run out of the dungeon before it runs out. And then if I can just make it out of the dungeon before my strength potion runs out, then I can fast travel back and then I can sell some stuff. So anyway, there's something I really enjoy about desperately making potions so that I can be under my weight. I don't know why, but I do. I also played Skyrim only because of the theme song. It's fair. Got a little stuck, but figuring it out. Have been using it as my pandemic escape. Oh, cool. What do you... Krellin says, Trooper, you are a nerd. That's true. That is fair, and I totally accept that. What kind of character are you playing, Rissa, in the Pillars of Eternity? The Resident Evil 3 remake, the one with Nemesis, the game is so rough with inventory. Ooh. When you need to spend an hour of inventory management to get a half hour of a game starting, I start to lose patience for the game. See, I actually... This way to Langtree Village. I find lots of inventory management to be... To be very... to be weirdly... what's the word? To be weirdly, to be weirdly comforting. Like in this, hello? Oh, they're ghosts. Like, I find it like weirdly comforting to do inventory management. It's like a little like meditative. Like, I monsters, chase, fight, and I was like, I'm gonna do inventory for a while. A bard with a bear. See, there's something I enjoy, rushing into dungeons and the like without any potions or healing items. Ooh, well that's interesting. Sorry, ranger, oh, you're a ranger with a bear. Oh, that's cool. You need to be prepared to delve this dungeon. Make sure you buy supplies. Where are you going? What? I like pick up arrows off the corpses or something. I actually also do appreciate that. Sigh. Are you from around here? Yeah. Do you know the Overseer song? What? Useless. I swear to Aya, this whole town, a few ghosts and everyone's useless. I don't have time to talk to you. The world is ending. Let's talk to Miriam again. That sounds familiar. Is the world really ending? Yeah. But don't you worry, I'm taking care of it. Or I would. If anyone could tell me the freaking Overseer song? Ooh. Do you need potions? I'm pretty sure bandits have some I can use. Here's the thing. Riss, if you don't know the reference, Vex is one of the characters from Critical Role. Very cool character, Ranger the Bear. There was... I once started playing Oblivion, playing a really heavy fighter type, which I almost never play, and I was like, so Oblivion, you start, and I often play like an archer is what I often play, like a sneaky archer type, who's really good with potions and has no magic other than alchemy. And I often play that type in the Elder Scrolls games because I like putting poisons on my arrows and then shooting people from far away, and I enjoy that. But the point is that I was like, here, let me just go and start as like a kind of a fighter type. I just started as a fighter type and I was like, oh my gosh, it is way easier killing these mud crabs than when I'm a sad archer. I have been missing out on like big melee beefcake fighting all this time. I still hit things with my archery though. So what you're saying, Sal, is that the D&D campaign I make for your cold sorceress, I need to make sure the enemies have plenty of consumables on them. No, that's what the cleric is for. I do not know CR, so thanks for the clarification. Oh, no worries. She's great. What is an Overseer song? I don't have time to talk to you about this. But no. Well, that's the village, but let's go here for a while. Langtree Village, this way. This way to the Tree of Slumber. Ooh. Should I go to the village? I feel like this is not the way we're supposed to go, but I'm kind of interested in going this way anyway, because if there's one thing I kind of like to do is not follow the rules. That's all. Just remember not to do anything heroic, Sal. That's not for wizards. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that story, man. Me and my party are about to level 4. Oh, that's cool. I need to play Pillars of Eternity. I'm gonna do it. I need to go. Oh, I need to learn that song. Jared can confirm that my monk preferred type of salty staying healthy was punch the enemy faster. If they're dead, they can't hurt me. I need to learn the song. And I feel like I might get a cliff. Hello. Ooh. Hey. Hi. Well. Well, hey now, Wanderer. I should probably sing that at Miriam. I should probably try that. In Pillars of Eternity 2, you can use Vex as your voice. Oh, that's cool. Rule number 1, rules are there to be questioned or broken because a lot of rules are useless. A lot of rules are useless. I like the rules about not contaminating food. We'll be happy to geek at you about it once you start it, although I suspect you'll go faster than me. Rissa, have you seen me play video games? I feel like I will not go faster than you. Well, hey now, Wanderer. Do you know this place? It's called the Tree of Slumber. A pretty magic little spot. Just being around here makes me yawn. This is a cute game. Oh. All the CR people who were voice cast in the game recorded them playing as a VM. Oh. Mercer did Gilmore. Oh, that's cool. Having a cleric girlfriend didn't hurt either. Is cute game. I'm gonna sing again. Yawn. You're not gonna talk to me. Well, I'm clearly gonna have to go to the village. That's clearly what I have to do. It's fine. I'll just go to the village. Whatever. Whatever. Oh, hi. How are you? I'm gonna think about that. Like, there are ghosts. We're gonna go to where the ghosts are. I don't know what I want to eat for food today. Oh my goodness. Golly gee. Me oh my. What's going on? In my home right here, there's a real life bona fide ghost. I learned summon bird. Is it wrong in these troubled times to not want to be in the alternate games my friends are organizing? No. I do love that mustache too. You know what, Rissa? Because I feel like just because we're all in social isolation doesn't mean that we have the bandwidth to do lots of new stuff. Also, I feel like people should ponder spreading out the love, doing more things all the time rather than like all the things at the short time. Okay, but cutting the grass in the yard once a week or having pets when a lot here of dogs are rules that can be questioned. I find that people only like to question rules they don't like. That's all. No, it's not just you, Rissa. Colonel's like, can I be in the alternate games instead? What? That's a good point. I kind of want to see. Don't be a hero. The mayor already stormed into there a while ago, and she still hasn't come out. It's the end of Langtree as we know it. And I feel fine. Nobody else in town could possibly replace the mayor. This could be the end of Langtree. He's freaking out. Let's go in there. After a full day of work, I just don't have so many spoons left for dealing with the world. The foxhole's a pleasant oasis. Thank you. You know what I was thinking about? Okay, I love the smash cuts underpinning the dialogue. Me too. You know what's interesting, Rissa, is that I think that there's, and I've seen this, there is a disconnect because some people, their experience of this moment is boredom because they're not doing anything because they can't, and also stress because they're not doing anything because they can't, they're not allowed. And so they have a particular kind of stress, which I understand and is understandable, but their stress then leads them to want to do things, right? Because they are not working, they're stressed out, they don't know if they're going to get a job or whatever's going to happen, and so they're very stressed out, and they want then to hang out with people, you know? But some people are still working, and if you are still working, and sometimes you're working even more or in more intense ways, and then well, then you don't want to pack on all the other stuff as well. So like there's a little bit of, I think, a little bit of a, you know, a bit of a disconnect there. Well, it sounds sensible, the grass mowers, kind of. You know, like there people have different things going on. Sal says, if my noble cold sorceress of ice and charity continues to not fit in the game, I may just throw together a half-orc fighter, probably a samurai or something, and then let the rest of the party adjust to that because I'm not feeling designated caster. Interesting. Oh yeah, it starts with an earthquake, birds and snakes and aeroplanes. Lenny Bruce is not afraid. Rissa says, or you work at home and you've already been at the computer for way too many hours and you can't go anywhere. Yeah, that too, right? Then it's like, it's really... It's a little intense. Uh-oh. Ooh, it's a real-life ghost, everybody. God dang ghost. Think you can mess with my town? It's a mayor. Watch out, kiddo. Leave this one to the mayor. No, I got this. Beat matching, everybody. This is Simon Says. This is totally, yeah. Mm-hmm. Ooh. This ghost is speaking in rainbows. My friend is coming over soon. He's going nuts not being able to go out and do things like he's used to. You know, it's interesting that your friend is coming over because there would be people, I'm not one, I'm like, you do what you want to do, right? Who'd be like, you have friends coming over? That's not social distancing. You should not be hanging out with anyone. You should not be like, unless you all live together, you should not be hanging out with new people. Because that's my corona. And I was like, he's one of my 10 people. You've got, like, I've got 10 people. I'm allowed 10 people. I think that's fair. I think it's fair. Let me see, what do you have to say? Oh, the ghost said a thing? Well, I'll be. Yes, your singing actually did something for once. Yeah. You're a good kiddo. But we're still up to our necks in ghosts today, so stay out of trouble. You know what? I want to listen to that song right now. As long as you're the same 10 people with him, if everybody has 10 people, that multiplies pretty quickly. Oh, Clyde's house. I think I could talk to him now. Stupendous's fantastic. My home is safe again. When the mayor went in there, I have to admit I was worried. But of course it was no problem for her. Hey. Just why are these ghosts here? Have we angered a higher power? I like, being the only doctor in town is stressful enough. I like how he's nervous, so his font is, like, jangly. It's all too much. Too much, I say. Ooh, Dr. Clyde. Funny story. In the 90s, Alternative Station was bought out by a metal station, and for an entire 40 hours, we got the air, going to air. They played The End of the World by R.E.M. Oh, that's interesting. So Clyde is a prospector. No, he's the doctor. Man, that all has the danger of dissolving into a battle of the biggest hermit. And I'm positive I'd beat at least most people in here. He's your favorite character so far? I like him. I've seen Stacy, and that's it for the last 2 weeks, except for the appropriately distanced exchange of bread for distilled water I had with my parents a few days. Fresh baked buttermilk bread, so good. I wonder how a hermit battle goes. I feel like hermit battles would probably be really intense. Oh, hi. Oh, hi. Hello, little bird. I've been hiding here from all the ghosts. If I wait long ago, mayhaps they'll go away. What are you doing? I'm saving the town. Oh. Oh my, what a little hero. Do be careful, little bird. Saving the town is what mayors are for. Between the old mayor's passing and now this, such a crisis for our little Langtree. But don't you worry. You didn't grow up here like the rest of us, so you may not know. But we've been through worse, and we always weather the storm. Have you seen Francine? She's visiting Ruby just beyond town. Ever since Ron passed, everyone's been doing their part to help poor old Ruby. We aren't much, but we always stick together. That's what I love about Langtree. I really wish I had her here with me, though. Reminds me of the old World Championship hide-and-seek championship in Flying Circus. Yeah. Hermit battles are super intense, but hard to notice because they absolutely have the range. They do. They have the range. Sal says, I don't know, Levi. I feel like I could get some tips from Madam Hermit. Yes. Seeing you makes me feel a smidge better. Your youthful attitude is so infectious. Come to think of it, how old are you? We're gonna be a kid. Still a kid. Well, still a child at heart, surely. Nothing wrong with that. I want to keep talking to her, because I feel like she has things to say. You're like a songbird, bringing smiles wherever you go. Pleasure chatting with you, little bird. I feel like I probably don't have another name. You know, Epic epic rap battles of history? This way to Ron and Ruby's house. So you know epic rap battles of history. What about epic hermit battles of history? I'm scared. Aye, it isn't the bardling. Watch yourself today. The ghosts around town are proving quite a problem. I tried scaring one off the one in our house with me axe, but it wasn't very afraid of axes. Hopefully the mayor can sort it soon. Sal says, epic rap battles of history is really good sometimes, or really cringy at other times, and that is true. They can't put epic hermit battles of history on YouTube. They don't have the range. It's so true. So if Francine killed Ruby's husband so she can have Ruby for herself, wait, probably not that type of game. We don't know. It might be. I'm gonna go in here and say hi. Hello? Ghost. Hello, little ghost. It's telling me something, but I don't understand what it's saying. Yeah, this game is basically Loom. That is fair. Well, I fixed the problem at least. I can chop down trees, but ghosts are beyond me. Maybe it's as Mary used to tell me. Instead of only training me muscles, I should train me heart. Just kidding. Being strong is great. I miss her. Hey, Bronson. Toad says, I think Loom is the only classic LucasArts game I haven't played. Your jolly demeanor keeps up my spirits at least. But experience hardens the soul. Hope tragedy doesn't befall you as it has us. Glad me boy is at least still with me. He's much tougher than me. I could learn a thing or two from him. It's cute. But it's the best one. You must play it right now. It's on Steam. Well, then I should play it too. My folks here ain't safe till all the ghosts are calmed down. Sure be nice for someone to conveniently sing them all away. Yep, that'd be nice. Langtree needs a mayor they can trust in. After all that broom swinging, I gotta rest my arms. But then I'll get right back to it. Y'all, the new version of Oklahoma is really good. The revival, it's really good. It's really good. Maybe I'm saving it for when I'm stuck on a desert island with 90s computer. Life goals. Hey, life goals are important. So this game is Hello Mayor's House is interestingly done. Ooh. I like the art. I like the art. Let's go this way. It's available on Mac. It's on Steam, right? So like, if it's on Steam, I can play it. Well, that's not true, because there are a lot of things on Steam that I cannot play. Bardlet. Oh, goodness. A dark spirit appeared in Ruby's house. I tried to get her out, but, well, you know how stubborn she can be. She's such a sweet, sweet old girl. If something happened to her, It's Francine. I thought about getting help, but what if something happens while I'm gone? I'm so terrified, I can't move. I'm so embarrassed. Well, I can fix it. There are ghosts in here. Ghosts. Hello, Ruby. It is not an all-black cast of Oklahoma. But... But it's diverse and really interesting. Like it's and that's wrong. They also fine. They also like really they totally changed the arrangements. They changed the orchestration. They kind of use a kind of a bluegrass band for it. The singing style's not classic Broadway. It's really, really interesting. It's super dark. Love it. Love it. Love it. Did you just sing that spirit away? Yep. Good thing it's out of your hair, huh? No. It wasn't bothering me. You just run singing to everyone's home. Well, thanks for coming into my home and making a racket. You can leave now. Are you leaving yet? Yeah, I'm leaving. As someone born and raised in Oklahoma, I hate that. Cyclonus, that's why you should watch the revival. Because here's the thing, Cyclonus, I hate it too. I hate Oklahoma. It's like, for me, it's everything I dislike about Golden Age musicals all in one musical. But the remake is super interesting and really neat, and it does very cool things, and I really liked it. I'm just surprised they were able to do it because it was such a transformation. Although they didn't change any of the lyrics. I think they changed one lyric. But they kept all the lyrics and everything, but they reframed it so that it's very cool. Let's talk to the mayor. Oh, right, Jarrett Watchman. Talk around town that you sang away all the ghosts. And here I thought bards weren't worth a thing. Haha, yeah. I got a favor to ask you. You got time to perform more miracles? Ooh, I'm gonna say, heck yeah. Langtree's got a spirit protector called the Overseer. He could tell us what's with the ghosts here. To visit him, you gotta learn his song. Oh, do you know the song? Well, yeah. Ooh, can you sing it to me? That wasn't what I had in mind. I ain't a great singer. You can do it! Yeah, I really ain't so sure about that. Watchmen was great. I'll be that guy. None of it looked like Tulsa. Tulsa has hills. No, be that guy. What's wrong with Oklahoma? Aren't they a bit country? No, I don't like the musical. I think the musical's really conservative, and I don't think it does good things, so I don't like the musical. There's nothing wrong with the state of Oklahoma. Oklahoma is a fine state. But I just don't like the musical. But then I watched it's like I'm gonna interrupt myself. Anyway, the redo of the musical solved a lot of the problems I had with the original, and I really thought it was like, I didn't think I would ever like that musical, but then I watched and I was like, ooh, this is really amazing. I was so impressed with it, so impressed. I was really surprised. Hey, you know what though? Here's the thing, Cyclonus, it's somebody's home and somebody likes it, and I'm not gonna talk smack about people's homes. That's all. I just gave myself permission to interrupt my own thought. I really did. And the interruption was, it's like Krellin said, this is, undo my interrupt. It's like Krellin said. Krellin was like, I was talking about the things that I don't like about Dungeons and Dragons historically. And Krellin has pointed out, it's like 5e has addressed almost all of your concerns. And it has. And I've actually played 5e and have had a good time. It's still got some things that I'm not particularly excited about, like generally speaking, but 5e is, for me, so much better than the other versions of D&D. It takes a lot of the things I don't like about D&D and has addressed them. And so there you go. Cyclonus says, it's my home, I'm gonna rag on it anyway. Cyclonus, you can rag on it because it is your home. You can rag it on it all you want. I'm just not gonna rag on your home because it might be a little rude. Oklahoma is a state with a lot of troubled racial history. Though that's true of a lot of states. That's exactly right. Oklahoma does have a troubled history, but then which state doesn't, right? I mean, Oregon was an all-white state according to their constitution for quite some time. So, like, black people were not allowed to live in Oregon. Or they would be beaten. It was, like, it's in the rules. What? The name game. Come on, everybody. I said, now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F or an M will appear. And then I say bo at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fanner, and fo. And then I say the name again with an F, very plain. Then a fee, fi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. Cyclonus, 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 Bobiclonus, Banana, Fana, Fopiclonus, Phi, Phi, Momiclonus, Cyclonus. Thank you, Cyclonus, for that resub. It is much appreciated. Thank you, thank you. Chris is like, California? Yeah. Carlin says, New Mexico's pretty good racially, but that's mostly because all the races were in the part of the territory that became Arizona. I heard that about Arizona and New Mexico. Eberron has a setting has done some awesome, oh yeah, I will tell you, when I was in 3.5, and there were a lot of things that were irritating me about 3.5, a lot of things. Mostly, like, there were a lot of things about 3.5 that were, like, really irritating me, but I loved Eberron. Eberron, I thought, well, like, what a cool setting. Eberron's super neat. I was really excited about it, although I was frustrated about some of the things in 3.5, but I liked Eberron, and now there's, like, I should get, you know, I should get the Eberron book for 5e, huh? Sal says, oh man, I should be using quarantine time to work on my settings, shouldn't I? Maybe. Toad says, Maine has problems, but they're mostly just psychic spiders posing as clown monsters and the occasional fog full of ghost pirates. I've heard that about Maine. I've heard that Maine has got a lot of problems with psychic spiders. Also, fogs full of ghost pirates. I mean, fog full of ghost pirates, it's a thing. I saw something about it in the media. If you like Eberron, why not? Yeah. The Tulsa Massacre is a huge plot point. I should watch The Watchmen. I don't have HBO right now. I'm gonna say, because I'm peppy, just do your best. All right, I think we need to remember this. Stephen King has issued an apology to people feeling like we're living in one of his novels. Speaking of Maine, that's, yeah, I'll go get it. I'll get it. Yeah, I'll get it. 3.5's massive disparity in scale between casters and non-casters drives me away from the system every time somebody turns around and says, hey, we should play Pathfinder 3X. Yep. The massive disparity between casters and non-casters. Also, the ways in which it encouraged a kind of a min-maxing, that if you wanted to have this prestige class, you had to start planning for it at level 1. Like, there are certain prestige classes you couldn't actually get unless you planned for it 10 levels in advance, and I was just like, come on, that's not, I was not excited about that. I was not excited about it. Rissa says, it's not quite the mist, but it's been pretty rainy around here lately. What about ghost pirates, though? Rissa, ghost pirates? Yeah, so I've bumped 3.5 all the way down to second worst D&D in retrospect. Ooh, Krellin, what's your first worst D&D? Krellin, what is your first worst D&D? If 3X is the second worst, Krellin, I want to know your ranking. Rank the D&Ds. I want to know it. I want to know it from best to the most worst. Second is the worst. Oh, interesting. Ooh, what? I've fallen with BRP and I'm slowly bending it to my will. Good, Rissa. Pardon me, good, Barantor. I'll admit the most powerful character I played in 3.5 was a fighter. Toad says 4E is your least favorite. I'm gonna learn what this is. Get ready to sing along with me. Okay, I'm gonna try it. I'm ready. Wait, I'm ready. Yeah, that ain't gonna work. That's okay. But is there anyone who could sing this song for me? Yep, one other. Heck of a singer, too. Ooh. Ruby? The grumpy old lady? Yep. And she's the only other one who knows it? Darn tootin'. Ruby acts rough, but I swear she's got a kind old heart in there. Just ask nicely. Well. Alright. But, Mayor, I'd go to Ruby's house right there. She's an old coot, but she can help you. Well, fine. Krellin says, best to worst, 5E, 1E, 4E, 3E, 2E. Barentor says, 4E was pretty good at what 4E was trying to do, which wasn't in line with the other D&Ds much. It's fair. Cyclona says, I was in college and had a lot of time to pour through books and min-max like a madman. And Krellin's agreeing with Barentor on that one. Sal says, you and I just swap 1E and 4E, but that might be because I haven't played 1E and mostly just give it props for starting the whole thing. Although really, 1E didn't start it, OD&D started it, because 1E didn't come out until later, right? But, oh, Krellin, you didn't place basic OD&D in there. You didn't place OD&D in there. You know, where where elf, dwarf, and halfling were classes? Krellin, I really like the weird things you can do with 1E's rules exception and such. Also monks. Skexy says, it's hard to hold the problems of earlier editions against them as they were pioneering. And they did improve as they went on through 3.5. Okay, basic is tied with 4E. Fair. Here's what I'm going to say. I can hold pioneering things against them. It just depends on what the things are. I think it's important, for example, to critique things in their context, right? So just because something is old doesn't mean that it's beyond critique. It's just not fair to critique things for the wrong without context, right? So for example, OD&D, which is basically a bunch of rules duct taped together from magazines. So for example, I hate it when people critique things not in context, right? So when somebody will say, oh, Bob Dylan, he's a terrible singer. He sucks as a singer. And I was like, but he doesn't though. I mean, he may not be your style or taste in singer, but he sang that way deliberately and specifically to sound like Woody Guthrie. Like he was trying to go for like old folk dude, and he was very successful at being an old folk dude sounding, even when he was not old. And like if he tried to sing like an opera singer, none of those songs would have worked. Do you know what I mean? Like he's not a bad singer. He's really good at sounding as working for the folk genre. He just would not have worked, and he wouldn't have worked for opera, but that's not the only way to sing. In the same way that people might be like, oh, that opera singer is the best singer in the entire world. And I was like, but that opera singer is not going to sing jazz very well. Do you know what I mean? Like, just like critique within context. Critique within context. Thank you, Levi. Thank you, Levi. Old games are terrible because the graphics are blocky. And you're like, you know, come on. Like, that's what they were doing. Like, but if you look at the context of old games, there are some old games that had better graphics than others, and we can talk about that. That's all. Blocky equals tables in D&D. Thanks, Jer. Krellin says, like, critiquing Islam for being oppressive to women in the 4th century is bad, because the rules of Islam were actually the most progressive of any major religion at the time. Yes. The fact that the rules haven't been updated can be made an issue. Yeah, right? So, like, that's, like, this is what I'm talking about. Sal says, I still like dig the Louis Armstrong voice though. Context be damned, that's a hell of a voice. Right, but like it's not fair to say, Louis Armstrong doesn't have a good voice because he doesn't sound like somebody in a totally different genre. That's not fair. And then Minecraft proves that blocky graphics still work. Barentor says, I find a lot of old games and some games that are good but didn't catch on have problems with editing and layout more than actually being bad. Finding a rule shouldn't be hard. So Barentor, by the way, Barentor just ninja'd my brain. Barentor ninja'd my brain. Barentor, I blame you for ninjaing my brain. And what I wanted to say was, I wanted to say that for me, one of the big critiques I have of AD&D is the editing was so bad. Like, there are typos everywhere. They should have hired a copy editor. The layout's not very good. And there are games from back then that do have better layout and editing, so it's not like it was impossible to have good layout. And I don't mean layout and editing that is of fashion now. I'm not saying that they needed to look like today, because what is good for layout and editing changes over time. I'm not saying that they should look like today. I'm just saying that there were war games from the 70s that had better layout and editing and copy editing than they did. That is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That they needed a little bit more playtesting. But I'm not asking them to look like a today game, because that's not fair. I'm just saying that they needed a little bit more copy editing and a little bit better layout, and they needed some indexing. That's all. Toad's like, I'll stab a person who disrespects the 16-bit consoles I cherish with a fork. And Krell's like, I'll hold him down for you. 8-point printing. Yeah, I'm just saying. Sal says, A&D still had Thaco though, and Thaco is bad. And non-weapon proficiency are just terrible. Hey DM, can my character swim? I don't know. Can you, the player, swim? They didn't even actually have skills in 1E. You know? Catalyst games were using AD&D design rules. Toad says, I remember some war games make me feel just dumb, and I was always in the top percentile for reading comprehension. Yeah, you know? Oh, I think I'm... By the way, I didn't tell you this, but we have a giveaway for today. And our giveaway is an indie RPG. And yeah, because first edition didn't have skills at all. It just didn't have them, and that was a thing. We have a giveaway, and our giveaway is Sword Legacy Omen, and it is an indie action RPG. And I'm gonna give it away now at some point in time, real soon. You know, I don't, probably after I learn this song. Yeah, so I just want to say, I just feel like try to critique them within their time period. That's all. Like, don't critique RPGs based on first-person shooter rules. Don't critique first-person shooters based off of RPG rules, etc., etc., etc. Hi, Ruby. You could translate third editions to use that Thaco without changing mechanics. Thaco is just an esoteric language of gaming. I think it's how we were supposed to summon demons to eat your babies. Yeah, I think that's true. I think that if you really got Thaco, then you would be given the real magic, because I learned from Jack Chick that if you get to a high enough level in Dungeons and Dragons, then the cultists teach you real magic, which you can then use to mind control your parents into buying more D&D books for you. I was pretty frustrated that nobody ever taught me the real magic, even though I'd had 9th and 10th level characters. I felt a little cheated, to be honest, that nobody taught me the real magic, but I'm sure, right, that Thaco was part of that. Veritor says, basic fantasy, the OSR rules kind of redo basic into ascending AC. Interesting. Yeah, 3's BAB literally is just Thaco with the explanation reversed. Yeah. The progression is even identical. And actually, yeah, Lee's like, yeah, I got ripped off. Me too. And I didn't actually even, I wasn't even bothered by Thaco really, because I didn't have, that's what I had. Do you know what I mean? I was just like, you know when you don't have anything else to compare it to, so you're like, this is fine? Sal says, as I mentioned on Twitter the other day, pretty much every edition of D&D is a tactical combat game with role-playing elements bolted on top. Yeah, and some people like that. Barontor says, I had an epic spell failure and my mom fell in a satanic panic. Don't you hate when that happens? Ugh. Lies, why do you think I switched to COC? Mm-hmm. Javai says, you can also critique them as a current game, as long as you're aware it was different in the past. But when I'm looking at games to play now, I will consider old games as something I would play now. Yes. 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 But that's always a tricky thing, right? And I think that, here's what I'm going to say, Javai, because I agree with you. And for me, it's about language. Krellin says, that's why 5e is the best edition. Roleplay bolted on top is the smoothest bolting so far. Yeah. Yeah. And so for me, what I would say is, and D&D is very much a combat game, and that's not bad. I just think they could do combat better. That's all I'm saying. I actually just prefer some other combat systems. Like for a combat game, it doesn't do combat the way I want. The name game, come on everybody. I said now let's play a game. I bet you I can make a rhyme out of anybody's name. The first letter of the name, I treat it like it wasn't there. And then a B or an F or an M will appear. And then I say bo at a B, then I say the name, then banana, fan, or info. And then I say the name again with an F, very plain, then a P, phi, and a mo. And then I say the name again with an M this time, and there isn't any name that I can't rhyme. But if the first two letters are ever the same, I drop them both and say the name. I like Bob, Bob drop the B's, Bo, or Fred, Fred drop the F's, forward, or Mary, Mary drop the M's, Mo, airy. That's the only rule that is contrary. For Santo, for Santo, Bo, for Santo, banana, fena, for Ola Santo, fee, fi, mo, mola Santo, for Santo. Hey, For Santo, thank you for the second month sub. And as you say, groovy, baby, groovy. Hey, do you love that song, Groove is in the Heart, by Delight? Where they start like, how do you say the gorgeous? How do you say the groovy? How do you say delight, delight, delight? Groove is in the heart. 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 The chills that you spill down my back leaves me filled with satisfaction next to satisfaction of to come. Satisfaction on next to none. I couldn't ask for another. I couldn't ask for another. I mean, just not delicious or nutritious, just a lovely and delicious. I mean, somebody. I just feel like it's somebody. Clearly, Krellin knows what I'm talking about, and also Rissa knows what I'm talking about. There are people who know what I'm talking about. Agreed. I don't enjoy the combat in D&D as much as other games. Right. See, that's the thing for me. Like, people are like, D&D sucks because it's got so much combat, and I was like, no, I just don't think its combat is. It's just not what I want it to be. Like, I mean, I don't mind. Like, I have played in arena games. I will play some heavy combat games. I just want the combat to be. There are things I want in the combat that D&D does not do for me. D&D combat is very archetype based and well, arcadey. It's designed to have simple, easy to understand rules so everybody can feel like they can pull off those 900 IQ plays. That's good, but it's not going to scratch the itch if you want more granular combat. For me, it's not even just that it's arcadey. It bothers me that each archetype often has different rules, so that if you're going to play, you need to learn. If you're going to play a rogue, you need to learn the rogue rules, and then if you're going to go and play the fighter, you need to learn the fighter rules, which are different from the barbarian rules, which are different from. And so like there are all these different systems, but they're also like so it's not like it's a simple like combat in D&D is not necessarily simple. Because there are a lot of different systems, but it's also not super interesting. And I think you could be not granular and still be interesting. Like, for me, you don't have to be granular to be interesting, but I find that D&D, I will tell you what it is. I have thoughts about this. And look, D&D is fine. It's just not doing it necessarily for me. But Shavai says, I would probably add some further qualifiers to D&D being a combat game, like dungeon crawl combat game or something, to differentiate it from a more arena or duel-based combat game. Krellin says, the fact that it's tactical yet simple is actually my favorite part, but it actually is not particularly deep. Like for me, I think it's too fiddly for its lack of depth, but not fiddly enough. Like, do you know what I mean? Like it's on one hand it's too fiddly, but not fiddly enough, or not fiddly in the way that I want it to be. Yes. Sal says, similarly, if you treat combat like it's anathema to good storytelling and a good role-playing experience, you might want to play something that isn't at its core a tactical combat game. Well, that's true. Most satisfying sub-reaction on Twitch. Thank you, Trevor. Oh, my pleasure, For Santo. My pleasure. And Krell's like, yes, I absolutely know Groove is in the heart. Thank you. Groove can hang out in other places. That is true. I love the shorts on that butt, by the way. Trooper doesn't want to hit a base number. He wants to go and get someone to roll. Well, I do like that. But I'll tell you what I like about it. Cyclone says, I'm sure the members of my D&D game really love my complaining about the D&D system. Sal says, but D&D not being class-based would totally bog it down for a lot of people. People scream at Shadowrun because they just want to play rigor. Just give me the rigor rules. I don't care about the street samurai stuff. I suppose, but the thing is, if you want to play more than one class, you have to learn more than one rule set. Do you know what I mean? D just lets you point at the 5 pages in the rules, Liberal Ranger, and just say that. I suppose, but then you can't play other things. And without having to learn a bunch more stuff, and that can get frustrating. You know? And then also it gets frustrating when you're like, okay, well, but I want to, like, why can't I grapple with someone? Like, well, because you're not a grapple class. And I was like, but in real life, I should be able to at least try to grapple them. And the ways in which things get locked out of you can be frustrating, but that's about class level systems. So this is what I'll say. And this is just me, because I will note, D&D is the most popular game in the market for a reason. It's because a lot of people really like it. So it's not, I'm not saying that it's evil. I'm saying that it doesn't do some things for me. Yeah, one of my players in my main group is always complaining that he had to learn how to wizard after playing a bard. Yeah. Oh my god, that playing Shadowrun with a rigor and their combat round starts and lasts an hour. Oh. Virator says, D&D frontloads a lot of the freedom and then restricts you to those choices for the most part for the rest of the game. Perlo Santo says, I do have fun playing D&D. I just like other systems better because they are focused on what is more important to me, role-playing and character motivations. Hasbro is evil. SR has never smoothly handled rigors. And the thing is, 5e, I have enjoyed 5e. Do you know what I mean? Like, I have actively enjoyed playing in 5e, and not... There was a 3.5 campaign of Eberron that I really enjoyed playing in, but I enjoyed it for the system. I was not enjoying it for the rules. But I actually have actively enjoyed playing 5e. I don't know if I'm going to run 5e. There are contexts where I can see myself running 5e. But I feel like if I'm going to run a game, it is less likely that I'm going to run 5e than I'm going to run other games. But I have enjoyed 5e, and so 5e, as Carl has pointed out, has really addressed a lot of my less exciting things about it. And so that's good. That is good, right there. I have, and thanks to 4e for introducing advantage, disadvantage. Like, there are a lot of things going on there that are better for me. As Ice Bunny says, I think I'm not the best company today, but it's nice to just watch and listen. Hang out with us, Ice Bunny. That's all you need to do. Well, you don't have to. Well, actually, you don't have to do anything you don't want to do. And Sal says, riggers are the pain in the butt. I should have banned drone riggers in my Shadowrun 5 games. I think I'd allow them in 6e games if I wasn't getting the if it wasn't getting the D&D 4e treatment. Carl says, also Deckers. SR4 came to the closest to smoothly handling Deckers, and it was ugly as fuck. Sal says, D&D 5e, where the grapple rules are only a paragraph long. Krellin says, 4e had so many system improvements, and I'm glad they kept in 5e. Yeah, like, I think that maybe sometimes people forget about the system improvements of 4e. Anyway, for me, I like having to make, for me, what I enjoy in combat is having to make difficult choices in combat. I like that. And that can happen. I like making choices in combat, and that can happen either in a granular system or a less granular system. Like, there are some systems that are pretty rules light but still make you make hard choices, and there are systems that are very granular but still make you hard choices. I just like to make. I like to be able to do some stuff, basically, you know. So, like, for example, there are not a lot of, like, if I'm playing a rogue, I don't have a lot of hard choices to make. It's mostly like, I just need to get sneak attack in, and that's what I do. And then I just pour in a lot of damage, if I can. And I like, the disarm rules have never been really very, like, a lot of the more interesting combat choices that you could do in D&D, like maybe disarm or maybe do this, have never been really all that useful. So, like, you could disarm, but you might as well just actually just do the damage. Like some of the things that might give you other things to do have often just not been all that useful. So I just want to be able to maybe I could trip you, or maybe I could disarm you, or maybe I have to give up some defense to do a thing. Like I just want to be able to sort of I want my character to feel different than other characters, not because the rules I want to be able to make choices in character. Basically, I want to be able to make combat choices in character. I like it. That's a thing that I appreciate, and if I can do that, I appreciate that. That's a thing for me. Other people, I will note, would not like that because they get analysis paralysis and it's too much and they're not enjoying that, and that does not make the game fun for them. Some people don't even like combat at all, and no combat will make the game fun for them, or they want the combat to be really, really fast, right? So I recognize that and I appreciate it, and I don't think that D&D is bad. I think that there were a lot of things about earlier D&D editions that were bad for me, and 5e is way better. I will still be much happier at a game that makes me think, oh gosh, do I take my one retreat right now, or do I wait for that person? Or even The Witcher, which I'm playing right now, has some choices to make, right? So for example, in The Witcher, you can block, parry, or dodge. And parrying, if you parry successfully, if you blocking is easier to do than parrying, but if you block, you're going to damage your weapon. If you parry, you won't damage your weapon, and you can stagger your enemy, but it's harder to do, right? So I like when I'm like, ooh, what's my choice here? I appreciate that very much in a game. I have to think about it. Skexy says, I finally ordered 6e. Should be here soon, though I kind of feel dirty about it. Feel dirty about Shadowrun? Carlin says, you should feel dirty if you paid for it, Skexy. They straight out gave away the PDF at Gen Con last year. Ouch. Frodo Santo says, for any setting I want to run, including Forgotten Realms, there are other systems I think will better capture the story I want to share. Savage World, Genesis, Fate. Yeah, and this is not to say that D&D is bad. It's not bad, but maybe you want to run Fate, or maybe you want to run Genesis, or maybe you want to run BRP, or maybe you want to run Rollmaster. You know what I mean? Maybe D&D is just not crunchy enough for you, or maybe it's too crunchy, or maybe you know what I mean? And that's not for me. We're talking about language, right? I was only talking about language. I just don't think I don't think that D&D is bad. It is clearly very successful at what it does. It just may not be what I want all the time. And there are some people who may hate the game, but it doesn't make the game bad. I really love GURPS as a game. That does not mean that GURPS is good or bad. It means that I really like it. But other people will not like it at all. And that's totally fine and fair. Sal says, 6e Shadowrun looks good, but it asks players to basically manage a mana meter with Edge, and a bunch of people are pissy about that. Oh, that's interesting. Barontor says, I also let the stakes be high in combat, which I also like. And I'm gonna say something about high stakes, and I'm not gonna scroll. I'm gonna say it. I thought that the stakes in Night Witches combat were really, really high, even though that game wasn't crunchy. Night Witches was not crunchy at all, but the stakes were super high because they kept you always on the edge, and then you had to start making choices like, well, I'm going to take a consequence that will involve me watching one of my best friends die rather than my character being killed, right? The game had really high stakes combat, so high stakes, but even though it wasn't a crunchy game. So I feel like you can have high stakes combat and not be crunchy. You could have really crunchy combat that is low stakes because of power levels. So for me, high stakes versus low stakes is not the same thing as crunchy or fluffy. That's cool. You know what I mean? Just sort of recognizing the way that you can sort of maneuver around things. Let's see. Cyclona says, I would love to run Shadowrun. I hate having to teach the system. And my group is full of people who are straight up awful at getting out of the D&D mindset. Oh, Cyclonus. That is always a thing, isn't it? There are some games that are really good, but not good if your players cannot get out of one particular mindset. There are some games that are great, but not if the players are not invested in learning the rules. There are some games that are great if the players are not invested in learning any rules at all. You know what I mean? If I have to, Yeah, like, I mean, it's one of those things where there are some games where are really good for, and this is not about new players. I just want to say this is not about new players. Everyone always says, oh, for new players, you need games that have no rules. And I was like, oh, I was a new player and I was playing some super heavy crunchy games. And like, there are new players who are really into crunch. So like, I don't believe the idea that for new players, you need light games and you can't have crunchy games or vice versa. I just think that there are different types of new players. There are new players who want to learn how to min-max. They're like, if a person's a new player but they're a min-maxer, they're going to want that stuff. There are people who, like, you know what I mean? Like, there are people who are new players who like that. And there are new players and also old players who do not care about the rules and do not want to know them, and you cannot get them to know every time. They're like, what die do I roll? You're like, it's a d20. We're playing D&D. You only roll one die. It's the d20. And they don't want to know it, you know? So, and that's also fine. It just means that as a DM, you have to do different kinds of work. Like if you're DMing a group of players who will not know the rules, one, pick systems wherein that will make it easier, because that means you're going to have to do a lot of work as a GM. So you just have to pick systems wherein it will be easier for you to do that, right? Like it's just, you know, that's all. Disarm the giant spider. Krellin says, Sal, do they ever route an explanation of what advantage points are for? Interesting. Jer says, I'm personally waiting for Cyberpunk Red, though I might look into the NetHack Genesis book. I have it. I have the, I got it because I decided to get their books before, because, you know, Fantasy Flight bought out by Asmodee. Asmodee was bought out by some other company, which I think was then bought out by some kind of creepy corporate raider hedge fund. I don't know what they call them. I don't know what they call them. And so then Fantasy Flight has stopped making RPGs now. And I thought I'd get the book before it was no longer available. So, oh, this is what we're discussing about. I also want to consume Cyberpunk Red. Those are either from Magic or Edge of Resonance. So Rissa says, I have a friend who worked on Cyberpunk Red who would be happy to hear that. I mean, I'm excited about it, Cyberpunk Red. Barantor says, The Witcher has active defense rolls too, though Trooper SJP, and that goes, no, I'm enjoying those active defense rolls. And of course, Witcher does it by who beats whom, right? So that's interesting. I like it. Toad says, I just can't hold numbers in my head, so I usually need a lot of hand-holding in crunchier systems, right? And that's also fine. Like, some people can't hold numbers in their head. Some people don't want to hold numbers, and some people really want to. Some people just want all of that. And, like, you just have to kind of know what your group is and then be sure to sort of match that with what you've got as a system. It's not bad or good. It's just what it is. Sal says, D&D is the Madden 2020 of TTRPGs. Super common, super popular, low barrier to entry. Not going to always scratch the itch for folk who spend a lot of time in the hobby. Yeah, but, but that's fine. Just in the same way, for the record, some people are really not going to like Powered by the Apocalypse systems. They're not going to like it. It's not going to work for them. It's not going to scratch their itch. They're not going to enjoy it. And that doesn't mean that Powered by the Apocalypse is bad. It just means that that's not going to work for everybody. And that's fine too. I got the CO Jump book, but I haven't read it yet. If D&D, asked Toad, is FIFA, what system is Football Manager? Crohn's like GURPS. Javai says, I personally think moving away from a black and white succeed or fail on a roll to a system with more of a scale, with like partial successes or mixed successes, can make the stakes feel higher. But then, Javai, sure, but then some people don't like it. Like, I know some people who hate that kind of mixed success that you get in Powered by the Apocalypse, because they have told me that it feels like a failure to them. If you're like 1 through 6 is a failure, 7 through 9 is a partial, and 10, 11, 12 is a success. I've heard people say, I feel like I'm failing on a 1 through a 9. That it's really like they don't interpret a partial success as a partial success. They interpret it as a partial fail. And for them, they feel like it's too punishing. So, and I'm like, well, right, you know what I mean? So, like, I think it depends. Like, some people will just find that really punishing. Other people will really enjoy it. And I just think it's really tricky. Cyclonus says, yeah, there are players that have been gaming as long as I have, which is damn near 30 years, 20 years, yeah. Barantor says, Javai agreed. When there are degrees of success, it has a much different feel. Yeah, but some people don't like the feel. Of course, D&D has degrees of success because they have critical fails and critical successes, as well as regular fails and like, you know what I mean? Like a lot of these things. Now, of course, the new Call of Cthulhu also has these sort of scale degrees as well. You know, so it's just, I mean, this was different. Sal says, I'm leaning more towards systems with dice pools recently to flatten the success failure curve. Oh, sorry, to bail out that curve. Yeah, my brain is a mess and I'm busy cooking right now. It is fair, Sal. Cyclona says, yeah, I've bought into Fantasy Flight L5R and I'm quite pissed about them ending RPGs. Yeah, right, that's messed up. And it wasn't their choice. They didn't want to stop. That was like that corporate raider person that sort of above them did it. I don't like it. Jer says, you having the book doesn't help me though, Trooper. You're right, Jer, that's true. By the way, Sal, I'm working on a GURPS game. Keep that in the back of your head. Sal says, I think that it's a bit of a branding thing. Call the 6-9 a success and a 10 plus a great success. You know, Sal, that's probably true, actually, thinking about branding. People are interesting about that. GFI says, oh, sure, it's not for everyone, and it's not the only way to raise stakes. Yeah. Krellin says, critical failures are not part of the core rules of any edition of D&D. I need to go back to my 1E. I have to go back to my 1E and check it out again. Beardra says, yeah, BRP has normal success, special success, and critical success, as well as failure, special failures, and fumbles. Rissa says, I can cope with crunch, but right now I have the creative spark of a gnat. I just got a link to all these Google Docs for a campaign just starting up, and everyone, AK, one specific anal retentive, keeps bugging me to add background and character info, which should be fun, but right now, each time she nags me, I feel less inclined to cooperate. Yeah, but what's also interesting is that how that background works also depends on the system, right? So for a lot of Powered by the Apocalypse, they just tell you what your options are for backstory. You're like, this, and you just kind of pick and then you sort of go together. Or I just did the Session 0 for a Capers game that I'm going to be starting soon. Blades in the Dark. Blades in the Dark. Mm-hmm. Interesting. I'm interested to see what your take is on Blades, what your thoughts are on it. I'm interested to see what you think about it. Yeah, I'm interested to see what you think about it. I feel like you're going to have some thoughts, and I would be interested in them. Oh, sorry, I'm going to talk to her. Hey, Ruby. A list system that allows you to build your background as part of character creation. I feel like I don't know. I think I like different things depending. I think different things will work for me depending. For Losanta says, Fantasy Flight Games has since then spun off a satellite company based in Europe that is 100% role-playing, Edge Entertainment. Oh, for Losanta, will you do me a favor and put a link in our Discord? Because that would be really, I would love to check it out. I want to learn the Song of the Overseer. Do you know anything about that? No. And I've about had it. With you coming in my house with your demands. Ruby? Now that kind of attitude just ain't right. You really don't remember the Overseer song? No. Really? That song you sang all the time? You know, back in the day with Ron? And at the gatherings around the big old tree? The song that was your job to sing for that? Every year? You really don't remember that one? Oh, yes, that song. I may remember it. Rissa says, don't have many just yet. Have played once or twice in a one-shot, but I don't have the books or any real understanding of the world yet. The GM has been kind to let me recycle my one-shot PC. Oh, that's cool. Skexy says, I think FFG said something about continuing at least the SW line under a contract basic. Yeah, I'm just a little sad because I think it really sucks when your company is bought out by some corporate raider that wants to strip you off for parts and then sell you again, and you did not make the choice to be sold. Do you know what I mean? Like they didn't choose that, and that makes me sad. I feel like that's like there's no consent there. Ooh. Also, I learned it. Can you sing it? I'll only do it once. Ooh, okay. I'm ready. So that's how it goes. Thank you, Ruby. I knew you weren't really that huge of a jerk. I sang this song for you. Can all get out now. Always a pleasure, Ruby. Kiddo, meet me in town. Skexy says, well, yeah, it sucks. And it sucked when they first changed. Yeah, like it really does. And it just bugs, right? Because I think when they went to Asmodee was like, hey, we're going to take care of you and we're going to give you more of these opportunities and we're not going to mess with you. And like, they were like, okay, this seems like a good idea. So they go to Asmodee and they get to keep doing their thing and it seems like it's a good idea. And then Asmodee gets bought out. And then all of a sudden those new people, not that great, you know? And like, and then maybe Fantasy Flight would have gone to Asmodee if they would have known that Asmodee would have gotten picked up by somebody else. You know? But they will continue to support some of the games. I think it's just unclear how much and which lines. Yeah. And that's sad because, they do, like, I loved their Game of Thrones card game. I really loved their Arkham Horror game, which is still going. Like, they've done some really good stuff. That girl could stand to learn some manners. And you too. I'm an old woman now. Coming in demanding me sing songs for you. Where's respect for your elders, hmm? Yeah, I just, so, alright. When I was a little girl, Ruby would sing at the Tree of Slumber. It was supposedly a ritual to commune with the Overseer, but he never did speak to us. I know Ruby can be a little harsh at times, but her heart is good, just old and tested. Alright. I like how you're clearly two-dimensional. That's all. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, everybody. By the way, we're gonna give a giveaway at 9. Uh-oh. We're gonna do a giveaway, so just make sure you say something in chat. Ooh. I wonder if I should be memorizing these symbols. No. Right? Something in short. Knit, knit. So... I feel like I totally lost my train. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Something in short. Too late now. There's no... It's true. There's no way, right? They're not going to make me memorize these symbols. Kiddo, you know the way this Tree of Slumber? I do, actually. Yeah. Go there and sing the song. I'll stay here and make sure my folks are safe. What good I am without singing, I don't know. But... Hi, Mayor. Hey, kiddo. Forget where the Tree of Slumber is? Nope, I just wanted to say hi. Well, ain't you just a little sweetheart? Hi. that's nice. We're gonna go to the Tree of Slumber. Too late now. So we're gonna go to the Tree of Slumber, everybody. And then we're gonna do a giveaway, and it's gonna be really good. That's it. We're gonna. It's called Sword Legacy Omen, and it is a indie RPG. That's what it is, and we're gonna do it. This is not too late, but we're gonna do it at the end of our stream today. Like sometimes we do it in the middle, but we're gonna do it at the end because that's how I feel. Okay. How am I supposed to remember this? Here we go. I think I did it right. Uh-oh. This is our first... Oh, hey. Hi. Oh, hey. It's nice to see you, 70s hair person. Welcome to the spirit world. I remember you. What are you doing here? I delivered my message, so just drifting around your world, vicariously feeling Aya's unconditional love for all existence. She's a hippie. Stuff like that. So, you're real? Yeah. Pretty much, yeah. And the world is ending? Yeah. So, how do we stop it? Stop what? How do we stop the world from ending? Well, the one thing that could stop it would be if someone sang the Earth Song. Ooh, that's it! I can do that! How does it go? Oh man, it's like... so not that easy. The Earth Song has no melody. It carries the combined will of, like, all life on this planet. It's like a whole thing. Well, how do I learn it? I know, she's back. And she's da groovy. Like, talk to the overseer here. Like, big castle. Can't miss it. Like a quest. Yeah. Good luck, little bard. Heart. I'm in this place. This seems like not a thing to fall off of. That's all. We're not gonna do it. So, I want to chat with you for a moment. Hey, there's a big castle. Do you see it? Big castle. Oh. Ooh. So, I wanted to tell you all something. What was it? I know that's cool, right? I did want to tell you all something. There was a thing. Woo! Ha 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 ha! Got it. It wasn't about a giveaway. It was me being oh. Ooh, what do I do about that? There we go. So, I had a thought. Oh, I know what I wanted to tell you all. Sorry, I remember now. Oh. What is this? Is this pollen? Do you think this is pollen? I bet it's pollen. I bet all the hay fever is happening here, and it's bad. So what I wanted to tell you was, I wanted to tell you what I'm doing this week. Because this is like this week, right? So this week is actually like I think it's a pretty mellow week for me, gaming-wise. Where's my cursor? Hello, cursor. This is my Thursday stream. Tomorrow, Friday, at 7 p.m., I will be doing, I'm just going to tell you now because, you know, why not? Ooh, hello. I didn't want you to come over here. We lost our stream. Come here. Come here. There we go. So on tomorrow at 6, today's Thursday, right? So tomorrow at 7 will be the City of Light and Shadow, the French Resistance campaign that I am GMing. Will be episode 6. I'm pretty excited about it. We do have to talk to them about leveling up though. And then Saturday at noon will be my regular PS4 stream, and that's The Outer Worlds. Sunday at 9 o'clock at night, I will be in a Monster of the Week one-shot over on Polish Cryptid's channel, which I don't think I actually have to put that down on my calendar. Anyway, it's Polished Cryptid. And then next week, I have got... what do I have next week? Next week is... Oh, I think that's not being streamed. On Wednesday, I should be doing a session 0 for the Overlight game I'll be doing with Little Red Dot. And then my regular Thursday stream. But next week, I'll be doing Hamlet on Friday morning at 11 over at Praxagora Thesmophoria's channel. We're doing Hamlet. This week we did The Dutch Lover. Next week is Hamlet, and I'm excited about that. And yeah, there's stuff happening, and I'm here for it. That's all I'm saying. But also, where's my chat? There's my chat. So yeah, I hope you talked to your boyfriend. What are you, Hamlet, the King of Kronborg? I don't know which Hamlet I am gonna be. Hey, do you think I can control? Oh, I think I can. Y'all, I can control the direction of those plants, and I didn't realize that until right now. Oh, I need to watch the VOD of Midsummer Night's Dream as well, because Midsummer Night's Dream is one of my favorites. Like, I love Midsummer Night's Dream a lot, and I was so sad that I couldn't do it because I was, you know, I was busy. I was teaching. All right, so. I need to get on here. There we go. Got it. Is there a VOD for the Afrobin? Oh, that's a very good... There should be. There should be a VOD for the Afrobin because she is now an affiliate, which means that she can store those videos, although I think she could have stored them before, but there should be a VOD. And speaking of which, I do need to check that out, because one thing that I really like to do is on my YouTube channel, I like to link to all of the things that I've been in, including things not from my channel. So I want to, so I want to see if I can put up a playlist for the classics on Twitch that I've been in and see if I can link them on my YouTube page once they go up on... I don't know if they're going to go up on YouTube. I hope they go up. Because... This bird is trying to tell me something. Woo! I feel like a superstar, everybody. This game does have jumping, so... Well, where do we go from here? Let's just try jumping up. Nope. I got extra credit in high school for going to see the Mel Gibson Hamlet theater. Oh, that's interesting. I thought it was too old. The party is trying. 2,000 extra credits, and the 5th fate point is ready. I'm gonna go this way. Leap of faith. Bird. There we go. I feel like it's so disrespectful that Wanderbard sings instead of whistles when coming birds. That's fair. Hey. Okay. Yeah, he was too old, right? And Kenneth Branagh was so... The Kenneth Branagh Hamlet was so long. Yeah, he was just too old. And like, I don't mind long, but I just don't think Hamlet should be like 40 years old. And because I think that it doesn't work as well if he's that sure of himself. I think it works less well. So I have a question. How do you interpret this game in terms of genre? Like what genre? Well, yeah, and like Hamlet's just coming from college, and some people will say that Hamlet's 32, but I think that's not true. So I think that Shakespeare does say that Hamlet is 32 at one point in time in the script, but he also talked about Hamlet coming back from college, and I think what happened, my understanding is what happened was that Hamlet was written to be younger, was written to be like, you know, early 20s, but what ended up happening was that I think they cast Edmund Garrick. They cast one of his favorite actors in the role who was not in his early 20s, and so to make it not seem weird, they just said that he was 32, but because the actor was. But Hamlet doesn't make a lot of sense if he's not younger. Like that kind of insecurity about who he's supposed to be and what kind of man he's supposed to be, and like all of that just doesn't make a lot of sense if he's 40. So that is what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. Yeah, and Glenn Close was too close to his age for his mom. Yes. Yes. So Levi's like, this is clearly a musical platform adventure rainbow. Puzzle platformer? Melodic cute game that warms the heart in a time that is nicely crap. Hello, Pollen. Ooh. Oh, so that wasn't it. So I just fell off. It's a fairy tale about stepping into the role of the adult that goes totally wrong. Can I do this? No, I cannot, but I can do this. I can do that and not die, so that was good. Because dying is so inappropriate and inconvenient. Hey, things seem a little weird. Things just seem a little weird. I wonder about stopping points. This one's gonna be hard, I think. Yeah, I know. I'm also just pondering food that I don't have. Yeah, I should eat. And not only should I eat, I should eat something delicious. So, gang, I'm not certain. Can you hang out with me? Sweet. This is how we're gonna do it. Oh, no! I have an idea of how to solve this problem. That wasn't it. Ooh, BLT. BLT. Okay, so I have a thought. No! Bird friend. So I have a thought about how to get through this puzzle. Yeah. So, look, we got this. We're passing our puzzle, and our lives are great, and then we get to close the game and give a giveaway. That's it. I popped the bird. I swooshed. I need to stop playing this game. Stop it. There are birds here. Everyone, stop playing the game. Stop it. Stop playing. Okay, I'm not gonna play. That's it. What a cool aesthetic, huh? That's cool. I like it. Here, we're gonna do this, and then I'm gonna exit the game. I don't actually know how to exit the game. This is awkward. I don't know how to exit the game. Exit the game. Exit the game. I don't know how to exit the game. Actually, I don't even know if I can. What if I can never exit the game? I think I got it. Oh, I messed up. Saver bet. Saver. Yeah. All right. Okay, here we go. So we're gonna do a giveaway. I told you where it was gonna be because I was being smart on these things. Let's do a giveaway. So our giveaway is Sword Legacy Omen, and I'm going Freebird. Okay, no charge for this one. We're gonna find out who the winner is this time. And I'm really excited to see who it's gonna be. Who is it? Who is it, Nightbot? Hrothgar! Hey, Hrothgar! Hrothgar, I've got a game for you. Hrothgar! Oh, I'm so excited. Hey, Hrothgar, I'm gonna whisper you. Oh, this is exciting. I'm gonna whisper you the code, and you're gonna have to do me a favor, and I want you to check it out. I'm going to send you the code for Sword Legacy Omen. It's an indie RPG. And if you do not mind, I would be appreciative if you would just check out that you can download it from Steam. I just want to, I want to double check to make sure that it works. It should, but I just want to check it out. So excited. On the topic of Hamlet, I thought HBC was a good opium. Oh, I thought so too. I liked her, and that's the thing. I thought that she was quite good. Squirrel boops boop. I actually thought that I actually like. That's the thing about Helena Bonham Carter. I think she's quite good at what she does, and even when I'm watching a film where there are things about the film that I don't like, I actually quite like her most of the time. And here's something really interesting, and I'm thinking about this in terms of directors. So one of the things I didn't like about the Mel Gibson Hamlet, I didn't like the direction. I thought that Mel Gibson should not have been Hamlet. I just thought it could have been directed better. Do you know what I mean? But she was good. And I thought that Mel Gibson was not particularly great as Hamlet. He did a lot of this. This is like his acting profound. He'd do this. And there were just a lot of shots of his face looking like this. And I was like, but she was really good. In the same way in the Sweeney Todd by Tim Burton, I also was not a big fan of the Tim Burton Sweeney Todd. I thought the direction was not very good, and I thought the lead was not very good. I thought that, what's his face? From 21 Jump Street. What's his face. You know who I'm talking about. Depp, thank you, Depp. I thought that Johnny Depp didn't have the range. I just didn't think he was a very good, it's a little one note as Sweeney Todd, and I thought the direction was just a little too cute. I didn't like it, but I really liked Helena Bonham Carter. I thought she was really cool. Is she Angela Lansbury? No, but I really liked her choices that she made as Mrs. Lovett, and I enjoyed her. I also thought some of the rest of the cast was very good as well. And Alan Rickman, right? I thought Alan Rickman was really good. And yeah, right, Jer? Yeah, I thought that her and Rickman were great, and I loved them both. I thought that the guy, what's his face? Who plays Ali G? What's his face? I thought he was pretty good as Pirelli. I thought he was pretty good. But like, and so it's one of those things where like, and this is for me the sign of a really good actor. I think if you can do a really good job when the director's not very good, that's some skill. Angela and George Hearn are like my loves. And I think, because I think about this with the Star Wars prequel trilogy when Lucas was directing, and I don't think Lucas is that great of a director. You could really tell the difference. Somebody like Christopher Lee, yeah, I just don't think he's a very good director. As old girls drooled over him since 21 Jump Street in the 80s. Oh yeah. Christopher Lee, what's his face who was playing Obi-Wan? Who I can see his face right now, but I've lost his name. Him. There were a couple of people who were just really good, despite the fact that McGregor. Thank you, McGregor. Like they were good. Do you know what I mean? Like they did great jobs. Of course, Ian McDiarmid. Like they were great, but Natalie Portman was not great, and neither was Hayden Christensen. And I have seen. I have Alec Guinness, yeah, Liam Neeson, yeah, Liam Neeson, Ewan McGregor, Ian McDiarmid, they were good, right? But Natalie Portman was not good in that film, and neither was Hayden Christensen. And I've seen it. What do you mean it isn't working? Why is it not working? Why? Hrothgar, thank you for letting me know. I do not understand why it is not working. What does it say? Tell me what it says. It says, whoop, something is not... Really? I hate sand. It's coarse and it gets everywhere. It's true. You do not want sand up your butt. Are you, what? I do not like it. Hrothgar, you're not going away without a code. See, that's weird to me. Why? See, I don't want to click on it. Yeah, so like I have personal grievances with the Pirelli actor because of Borat. Oh, well, that's fair. I have not seen Borat, so I don't. Yeah, Sex on the Beach, not so great actually. Great as a beverage, not as okay. So I just clicked on this. It was already redeemed. Can you try again, Hrothgar? See if clicking on it again does it for you. Otherwise, I will send you Phantom Doctrine, which is an action RPG strategy game, which could be cool. I'm gonna try. So try it again. If not, let me send you this one. So the thing about Natalie Portman is I've seen her act well, right? I've seen her act well, but then I've seen her act terribly. So I suspect that she needs a good director to act well. And if she does not have a good director, she's not going to be great. And the same thing with Hayden Christensen. Like he wasn't good, but I've heard that he was really good in this and some other films. So I think there are some people who just, yeah, she was pretty good in Leon, right? That was great. She was good in The Black Swan. I thought that Mila Kunis was better, but she did her job well. And I just think, oh, you figured it out? Hrothgar. Okay. So I think that she's one of those kind of people that needs a good director. And that's not like, not a ding. It's like not an insult or anything like that. It's just that some people need good directors, right? If they want to do a good job, that's all. Yeah. Hrothgar, let me know if it worked out. Keep your sex on the beach. Wait, I lost the comment. Keep your sex on the beach in your glass and off of your social calendar. Yes. I found Twin Peaks, and now I would love to do a Twin Peaks week just because of Cooper, future hubby of 14-year-old me. Yeah, and that's the thing, Skexy. She's been amazing in a lot of things, but I think she probably needs a good director. And that's not an insult. It's just what it is. Important notice: putting game code in for 2FA will not redeem game. Wait. Yeah, no, Leon was a good movie and had a good director. So Hrothgar, are you good for the game? Let me know, because oh, hey Hrothgar, where did you put the code? Where did you put the code? Because that might be important to note, because other people might need to know this information. Somebody's watching me, and I have no privacy. Whoa, I always feel that somebody's watching me. Tell me, is it just a dream? Blurderk returns. Blurderk returns. Thank you for the follow. Thank you very much. It is much appreciated. We're about to go for the night, but I want to thank you. And of course, Luc Besson has directed some total flops as well. He has. Blue Dark. We'll have memories, but not again. Oh, 2FA is two-factor authentication. Fair. Yeah, those words. I'm good now that I did. Yeah, no, that's fair. So yeah, and I think it's interesting. Like Roddy McDowall. I think Roddy McDowall's a great actor. He's been in some stinker films. Blue Dark. That's fair. Blue Dark returns. Hey, Blue Dark returns. I pronounced your name. Thank you. Thank you, Krellin, for correcting the pronunciation of Blue Dark. Blue's fine. Hello, Blue. How are you? Yeah, Roddy McDowall, I think, is a great actor. He was in Night Fright. I think that's what it's called. Planet of the Apes, a bunch of things. Cleopatra. He's been in some bad films, some good films, some bad films. But I think he's always good. Yeah, in Camelot as Mordred. I think he's always good no matter what he's in, even if the film itself isn't very good. Doesn't mean anything, people. Blue's just fine. Fright Night, thank you. I always think, he's also in Warriors, which again, like not an A film, but I do think he's very good in what he does. And so I just think it's interesting that some actors need directors who are good and I flounder without them, and some can do their job even without a good director. That's it. All right, everybody, it's time for me to get some food. And also do some work. I don't know what the food is yet, but this Wandersong was fun, huh? This was good. I'm enjoying the Wandersong. I'm excited to play more of it next Thursday. Oh, I should tell you something. I am going to miss one of my Thursday streams. I'm going to have to cancel a Thursday stream. I think on the 19th. I think next Thursday I cannot stream. It is unclear to me. Things have not been finalized. I've got to do a thing, and it's not been finalized yet, so I think I cannot play next Thursday, but I don't know yet. It is very likely that I will not be able to stream next Thursday, but I don't know 100%. I might be able to come in later or have to end up early. There's a thing going on I can't talk about, but I'll talk to you about it later. But nonetheless, I will let you all know. So that said, I'm going to get some food. Take care, everybody. Be awesome. I appreciate everybody being here. And I'm going to tell you what. Oh, no. What am I doing? But I don't know yet. I have, things have not been finalized. Scheduling is a thing. And I should probably tell you, there's going to be 4 sessions in a row when we have to start at 7. My Thursdays are going to have to be pushed to 7. Probably in May. I don't know. There's some things going on, and we're going to work it out. But I will talk to you all later, everybody. Take care of yourselves, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye, everybody.